How about that? We got sound now? Heck yeah. Well, I just said hey to a whole lot of people, and y'all didn't hear me. And I was also telling you to let me know if my uh, mic is too loud or too quiet because I hooked up a new mic and had it muted. So that's what was up with that. What's up, Cheeto Bandito? Wretchman 5000. We are waiting on Shane because he had to reboot his computer, so he'll be here in a few minutes. What's up, Stevie? Brother Steven? Kyle Coonley, you don't have to imagine that, brother. We can make that happen in real life. Shane's here, but it says device is not connected, so I reckon he'll get it all sorted out here in a minute. he, he probably did. Oh, Shane left again. Sorry about that, Jeffrey Dawson. What's up, Forrest? Old Broham Mikey Mo. Slip Joints Shane will be here any minute, maybe. There's no guarantees on that. So, since we don't have another head up here, what did you guys carry today? Anything good, spectacular, fun, nifty? There he is. What's up, Shane? Look at that pretty bald head.
What's going on, guys?
There he is.
Oh,
What's up, Shane? Yeah, you got to mute, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, it takes exactly 10 minutes for me to reboot this thing every time, because every time I turn this computer back on, it acts like everything's ready to go, and then when I try to log into StreamYard, it tries to start loading Skype for Business.
Sweet.
And even StreamYard even says, you know, when it said device not connected, it said to make sure to close all apps like Skype.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
what was
why.
going on.
Sometimes it'll do it right in the middle of a live, dude. It'll just start trying to load Skype for Business, and I went in and deleted that app. I can't get rid of it. It's like a virus.
It's like the herp.
Yeah. Once you get Skype for Business, you've always got Skype for Business. This is my old work computer, so.
Well, you should have a few pocket checks to read off. You're just in time for that.
Let's see. Sorry. Forrest is carrying the. What's he got there? The Rockwall and the Titanium 940. I bet that was a pricey piece.
I'm waiting for Michael Morgan to post his. He said he was going to post a bunch of slip joints for you to read off.
Yeah, I'm not. Come back in 20 years when I'm too old to appreciate a modern pocket knife, or when I've decided to just buy whatever Lefty tells me to, and maybe I'll have some slip joints. You're 100% right, Kyle. I love this now that John can highlight comments because he catches them way better than I do.
I do too, man. I can big boy live stream again.
Mm-hmm. Ed Harrison, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. Seems like this has been going on for a couple of weeks. Well, you were desperate, weren't you? You did a pocket check because I wasn't here?
Well, that was just right before you popped in.
Oh. We suck at them, too. I don't know. How does Red do it? How does JB? he literally, him and Bob DeMarco read off everybody's pocket check.
Oh yeah, and Zach does too.
I don't know how they do it, man. It all goes by so fast. I mean, even if you stop it, I can't get caught back up.
No.
Mama Ninja's got a Mannix 2, an Aster, and a Lackey around his neck. Twang Thang, I believe that. Therefore, I give you a pass. Me and Twang Thang had an interesting conversation, dude. Just to tell you how crazy the whole YouTube algorithm thing is. I discovered this channel because I've been trying to step back a little bit from, not from the community, but from as much knife content, because just to be honest, I was getting burned out. And I discovered this channel where it's this grown man and his 2 nearly adult sons. I'm guessing they're at least late teens, maybe early 20s. They run a channel with where they race Hot Wheels. They have a downhill Hot Wheel track, and they have thousands of Hot Wheels cars, and they just race them. Dude, these guys get like 10 million views per video.
Holy crap.
They're probably rolling in the dough, dude. I'm sure Hot Wheels is probably sponsoring them, but anyway. And there was a car on there. It was like this fantasy dragster type car, and the side of the car was a guitar, and the car was called Twang Thang.
Oh shit!
So I screenshotted it and sent it to Twang Thang, and it's like, hang on, let me read it, dude. It was the best response ever. I just thought I liked Twang Thang until I got this answer from him. Let's see. Yeah, I sent him a picture of the car, and he said, "You caught the tater salad." Dude, I literally laughed out loud when I read it. You caught the tater salad. That was the funniest shit, dude. Oh, man. Of course, that got us into a conversation about how both of us had, collected Hot Wheels at one point in time, but that's not where he got his name. He just got his name from that country-style twang picking on the guitar.
Does he play guitar?
That led us to Dwight Yoakam. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Or, we're on bluegrass. I'm not really a bluegrass fan. I appreciate bluegrass music, but I can't really listen to it. I mean, is Tyler Childers considered bluegrass?
No, I'd consider him more like Americana or like alternative country.
Yeah, I love that stuff. But most bluegrass, other than like Man of Constant Sorrow or something like that, I can't get into it. And Twang Thang's probably heard of this, but we have the Foggy Hollow Festival. Is like 10 minutes from my house every year, and it's a huge bluegrass festival. Apparently, they smoke a bunch of weed and drink a bunch of moonshine and party it up all weekend long out at a pasture.
It would be in a pasture.
Yeah, I've never been, but I know the guys who originally recorded the version of Man of Constant Sorrow for the movie. I know they've played there on multiple occasions, but yeah, keep an eye out. See if Twang Thang mentions. Have you heard of that? The Foggy Hollow Festival?
The Swampy Hollow Fog Boys?
There's even like a permanent sign on the side of the highway telling you to turn left to get to Foggy Hollow. It's a beautiful country out there, though. It's like a mountain valley type.
Oh, this is that's one of my favorite songs. I swear to God, the bluegrass gin and juice.
Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think a lot of us have heard the mainstream stuff that's hit big, but yeah.
Which I like newer bluegrass. We're going to see Billy Strings in August, so
if I ain't mistaken, I think Billy Strings has played the Foggy Hollow thing. But it's like apparently, dude, it's a really good time. Apparently, there's been a bunch of children conceived out there. Yeah, it's a big deal around here. I just didn't. I don't feel right going because I don't want to be a poser and act like I'm into bluegrass music when I'm really not.
Well, we all can't be conceived in the back seat of a split bumper, so
yeah. That's my favorite car, by the way. It's
I
really
imagine
odd.
so.
I didn't learn that until after that had been my dream car for many, many years. But I'm telling you, if you gave me a whatever the most expensive 69 model Camaro there is right now, I'd trade it for a 70.5 split bumper. That is a way better looking car. That's just my opinion.
Does it got a roomier back seat than the 69?
No, the back seat, you can't have sex in the back seat of a Camaro. You have to lay the front, you have to slide the front seat all the way back and lay the back down into the back seat.
Kind of like a Geo Metro.
Yeah, there's no climbing in the back seat of a Camaro. Well, I guess if you're Javon size, the girl
Or
is
Cole.
Javon size or Cole size. Yeah, maybe Cole and Carrie could fit in the back seat of a Camaro. Yeah. W, you're right. We could just go to concession. Well, let me tell you something, dude. You see those girls lining up, piling up into pickup trucks to head out there with their cut off blue jean shorts and their little spaghetti string tops, and yeah, they're going out there to have a good time, man. Yep. I'm not a big Billy Strings guy either, but I get it.
I mean, dude's a genius. I'm pretty sure he's an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another
What kind of music do you consider drive-by truckers?
They're alternative country.
Okay.
Yeah. You might check out. They're not as bluegrassy as they're more of an alternative bluegrass. There's a band called Kitchen Dwellers that are pretty damn good. You might like them. Dude,
Twank, it's funny you say that because I've watched a very popular YouTube video of a kid sitting on a couch.
That's him, dude. That's Billy Strings. And it's got the dude like waiting for his side quest over there on the side with the little hobbit looking guy.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't aware that was him. I thought that was a cover of his song.
No, that's him from like back in his college days, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. I've been thinking about that too, dude. Is there any point in us not, if we wanted to, is there any point in us not being able to just pull up music or videos and show them during our life? My lives aren't monetized.
No, I mean, yeah, it would just keep you from getting monetized
for it.
They demonetized one of my live streams, because I played some TikTok videos.
Yeah.
But
I don't mind it being demonetized because it already is. But then, like when I held up my phone and played that Man of Constant Sorrow mashup that you did, that one got demonetized, and they just instantly post as demonetized.
Right.
I can change them, but I don't because our language gets so bad sometimes. I don't want to get strikes because of it. So I just leave them that way.
But yeah, no, you can play YouTube, whatever you want to play. It just all it's going to affect is the monetization of it.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're posting like snuff films or something, they'll probably pull that down. But
or homemade films.
Yeah. A little brown cow music in the back.
That's right. Brown chicken, brown cow. Yeah. Well, Todd Carr, you can if you want to be monetized, but my normal videos are monetized, but my lives are not, because here's the issue with monetizing lives. First of all, you can't pre-select it to be monetized. So like as of right now, YouTube recognizes it. There's a $sign with a slash in it. Not monetized. I can go in and monetize it afterwards.
No, you can monetize it before. If you go in studio on your laptop, you can monetize it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just don't want to take the risk of monetizing that. I'm not sure how to handle that because I'd like for my live streams to be monetized, but on the other hand, they've got all these rules, but they won't tell you what they are.
Yeah. And usually with live streams, the language it's not a huge deal. The main thing is just playing copyrighted music. It'll get demonetized, but everything else is pretty much fair game.
That's another thing I found. You can play copyrighted music.
Right. But
you have to show the video.
Right.
You can't just play the music. If we were to pull a video up right now and review it and talk about it, you can monetize that. But if you just pull it up and let it play from beginning to end without saying anything, then they can take your money.
Right.
But they don't explain all that to you.
Mm-mm.
You know, there's tons of channels out there that review music. You know, they've got the video playing up in the corner.
Yeah.
And they're monetized, but you know, you have to stop every now and then and talk about, you know, what you're watching. I guess it's weird. It just seems like YouTube would just give you a firm set of rules. You know, like, here's the rules. Here's what you can and can't do. Here's what, you know, will and won't get you demonetized. But they refuse, man.
They're not going to do that because that gives them free reign to just pop in on and just arbitrarily demonetize something,
Right?
Because you know they didn't give you a set of rules, and then if they demonetize it, they're still getting ad revenue from it, so they're
That's
good
like
either
that
way.
whole deal where, you know, there's those two large groups of military-aged males who are firing guns and munitions back and forth at one another in that country overseas that you're not allowed to talk about. If you even say the name of the country, it pops up a red flag and they can demonetize you. They can take your channel down for it. You are not allowed to talk about that conflict on YouTube. I don't know why. You know, and have you guys ever seen a conflict that got as little news coverage as this one is? It's the most recorded one of all time. So there's more actual footage of it than there even was in the Middle East. Yet it's not getting any coverage.
Take her easy, Doc. Yeah, shit's weird these days.
Yeah, last night I watched the Funker 530 channel. You ever heard of them?
No.
It's a veteran community. This guy gathers up video. It's mostly actual soldiers with GoPro cameras on their helmets. And I don't know how he acquires them, but he puts them all together and puts them on YouTube for you to watch. And I mean, he has to warn you up front. There's literally, I mean, you see people forever sleep. You know, you see large chunks of carbon laying on the ground that no longer breathes.
Yeah.
Pretty extreme stuff. I don't understand how he gets away with it. I guess that kind of stuff you have to put it up and schedule it for later and let YouTube decide if it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, like, when I post a video and I just put, you know, and I just click publish now, you know, they don't have a chance to critique it, but they can go back and do that. But if you schedule it to come on at a later time, it actually tells you, you know, that that's giving them a chance to make sure there's no issues with it.
Right.
Which may be the safer way to do things. You know, that way you don't have to worry about it after you've already posted it and then yanking it down.
How clean is your underwear, Gary?
Yeah, Kyle, go check out Funker Funker 530, and you will see actual GoPro recorded footage of real life combat. They got really popular. A lot of people saw the video of the Marine that got shot in the neck in Afghanistan. He's on that real rocky hillside. He's working his way down, screaming, you know, for the medic that he's been hit, but he keeps fighting. That video went viral because, you know, he had a bullet in his neck the entire time. But yeah.
Speaking of Marines, where's Vince?
I don't know. See Vince. Well, speaking of Marines, there's Gary the Last Ranger. Did you guys know that Mr. Gary was a devil dog?
Sure was.
Yeah.
That's where he started eating
I'm
babies.
sorry, Gary. I'm sorry. I said was. I meant is. I know how Marines are picky about that. You can't say they were Marines. They're always a Marine.
What's up, brother Pat?
So I'm thinking I might start working picking up a few shifts back at the club.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You got a knife on your wish list?
I got plenty of knives.
No, on your wish list. Are you looking to buy one? And so
that's why. No, I'm just looking for something to do. Really.
Oh, you want to see boobies again?
Yeah, I had that job offer, and then it's been like 6 months, and they're still saying it's going to happen. But in all honesty, it kind of turned into a negative. You know what I mean? It kind of started affecting me a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of worsening my depression because it hasn't happened. You know, I keep getting excited about it, and then it doesn't happen. So I may just do this for a little while. That and the environment has changed some too. They've changed the head of security. So I'm thinking about going back. It was a pretty toxic place before. The guy was head of security he was pocketing door money, and there was a drug element, and they've cleaned all that up. So I think it might be something I want to try again.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, and literally every fight that ever happened in that place was because of him. I could go up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, you messed up. You crossed the line. You got to go. You can get up. You can get up and leave, and you can come back tomorrow and have a good time. But if we have to make you leave, you can't ever come back." And they always just left. There was a couple I had to, escort, but not violently. Yeah, Kyle, that's some drugs in a strip club. That was actually the reason I got hired the first time. Was I was there as a patron and found out that one of the guys had gotten busted for selling meth out of there the night before, so I knew they were shorthanded.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So when you how in the near future is this going to happen?
It could be as early as tomorrow. I don't know yet. I was there last night.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
No, I mean, I went by. I worked. I filled in for a guy for a little bit. Super chilled. It was super chilled. No issues at all. And from what everybody that works there now is telling me, it's been like that for 2 months since that guy left. It was kind of a roadhouse situation, Tim. The bouncers were the issue, or at least the head of security was. Yeah.
Oh, Timbo.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a little extra money wouldn't hurt my feelings either.
No.
But mostly just something to do. I've mentioned this before. We all have talked about what the knife community has done for us and how much it's helped us. But I also firmly believe that it can become a little unhealthy too, because I think we get too dependent upon it. We get to a point where, we're spending all of our waking hours, watching live streams and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's a problem, but I think it can become a problem. I think it becomes too much, and you start to depend on people to, how do I want to put it, to maintain your sanity and your happiness. And that's not necessarily their job. You know what I mean? They're not really responsible for that.
We place a lot of expectations on people we've never even met in person to make us happy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. We place expectations on people, and it's not fair to them for you to do that, because you're going to end up getting let down. Not even by, when it's not even their fault. You have this expectation, and then they don't feel it, and you end up with your feelings hurt,
and they don't even know it.
Right? They didn't even do anything. Yeah.
Actually, Scott, Shane's featured dancer on Saturday nights now. So
not a dancer. Not a dancer. I was surprised to see there were a couple of them that are still there.
It's fun. I like how you say, you're going back to work there just for something to do. I ain't got nothing to do. I guess what go work at the strip club.
Well, there's a reason for that too, though, John. I really struggle with being able to get up every morning and be somewhere at a certain time. And with that, I don't have to be there till 7:00 at night.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about a couple nights a week. I'm gonna look, if I can't be off on Sunday, then I'm just not going to do it. You know, it's a little different situation now. I don't have to bend to their will as much.
Good old Dick and Balls. It's good to see him.
Yeah, it's not, if you really need somebody to talk to, you tried to call Matt's faction. You're just in trouble, man.
Yeah.
He's not going to answer.
No. That Dick and Balls guy, he's a good guy, though. He'll be there for
I'm sure
you.
Dick and Balls would answer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let me sit there and talk shit about Marty with him.
Yeah. While he's flipping his Rosecraft mohawk. It tickles me to death to go back. I want to do a collage of Scab talking about the mohawk and Maddie talking about the mohawk. I just think it's cute how much Scab loves it and how much Maddie hates it. Scab will admit, the actions sucks, but he don't care. But his knife needs are just different than Maddie's.
Yeah. That knife is not for Maddie.
Right. Not for him.
What's up, Scoutmaster? Avery?
I guess I am the guest tonight. I didn't realize that. I am on the opposite side because John had to start it up for me tonight.
Yeah.
Hello, Ian Coates, by the way. That was your comment I was reading. But who's this knife for? What the hell was this thing designed for?
I don't know, man. It's an ugly one.
I love it.
Do you?
Just because of the obnoxiousness of it.
Yeah.
And it, action's at the very bottom of my list of things I care about. But boy, does it have it. It's got it in troves.
That's a big chunky ass blade. It's some thick blade stock too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very chunky, to say the least. It's
a big chunky knife. Boy.
And this is the mini. They're about to release an XL.
Jesus.
This is the mini version, and you can see it in my 2X hands, and they're about to release a larger one. I didn't do enough research on this, but apparently the original custom of this was from CS Blade Works.
Uh-huh.
But I think they're about $800-900 to get on the books to get a custom. So, you let Kaiser make it. I don't know what that knife cost. No idea.
Have you carried it?
I've carried it once. I haven't carried anything a whole lot lately. I haven't been out much, but it's not any different than carrying my Mannix XL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about the same. And I carry it quite a bit. I'm going to try it this week because I need to get this guy's knives back to him to carry this one a little more. I was told not to mention who it belongs to, so I won't. But somebody loaned me an Emerson that I'm very appreciative of. Look at the edge on that thing, guys.
Damn.
Now, it's chisel ground, but Kyle Coonley, we're pretty sure that Kyle sharpened this knife. And this fucker is scary sharp, dude. I love things to be the same on both sides. So I was never very excited about a chisel grind, but I've gotten more into them. I don't understand the physics of why they cut better or why they're sharper, but they are. And I don't know what Kyle set that edge to, but you saw how wide that edge bevel was. But,
yeah.
I get it. I understand Emerson, and I understand why some people hate Emerson. It's just not for them. But were I still in the military and still needed something like that, would I appreciate this? I absolutely would. And I'd also ask the question though of, well, if I have I have a Cold Steel 4-match Scout that I gave $55 for from Midway. Apparently they just ran that sale again. Do I need a $250 Emerson? Because I don't think one is any tougher than the other. The 4-match may even be a little tougher just because it's even bigger. But then I can't remember who I was talking to Oh, I do. I was talking to Billy from Apex Alchemy, and it kind of hit me why this may actually make sense, and it's because it's not fair to compare this to the 4-max Scout. I think because it's American made, you'd almost have to compare it to an actual 4-max. Well, now in that case, the Emerson is actually cheaper. You know what I'm saying? If you were going to compare, say, I just get a cold steel instead of this. Well, if you care about American made, and you buy an American made cold steel, you're going to pay more than you would the Emerson. So that matter, it makes me feel like the Emerson wins. That edge is at 23 DPS. That's how thick this stock is. That's crazy, dude. That's a 23-degree edge bevel, and it's a 1/4 inch wide.
Good Lord. What is the blade stock on it?
I don't know. But it's chiseled, so it's all having to come off one side, too. It's not super thick, in all honesty. I mean, you can see I don't think it's any thicker than, let's see if it's any thicker than my Mannix XL. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yes,
if so, not by much.
Yeah. You told him still.
I know. Like I said, it all comes off one side, so it makes a super wide edge bevel. God, this thing cuts so good, man. I bet Kyle was cussing the entire time he was doing that too. The only good thing about that is once you get one side done, you don't have to dread the other. You're done.
And for all your sharpening needs, do go to our buddy Kyle over there at Sling and Dong Sharpening Services.
That's right. Sling and knife sharpening does a hell of a job. So y'all check him out. If y'all don't know, that's our friend right there, Kyle Coonley, in the comment section. He's a hell of a sharpener.
He does sharpen knives too.
Yeah, and don't listen to Maddie trying to tell everybody that he's just a middleman. He actually sharpens the knives himself.
Speaking of Maddie, that asshole's in here.
Yeah. Those dick and balls. That's funny. That's right, Douglas Fir, Sling and Dong knife sharpening for all your knife sharpening needs. Need a man. Super quick turnaround time, super fair prices, and I promise you, he's going to be pickier about your edge than you ever were. You're probably right, Twine Thing. I'm pretty comfortable right this minute, but you guys know how it goes. After about 30, 45 minutes in this corner, it starts to get hot.
And the shirt comes off. And if you'll look at the bottom of the screen down there,
nipple don't come free.
So
that's funny.
You got to pony up some cash if you want to see the nipples.
Yeah, gotta see some of them super chats. That cowbell, nipple ain't free.
Hey, did you? I think it was Ian's comment earlier. Did you know Cole was the proud owner of a hinderer?
What?
That's what the word is on the street.
Who gave him that?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what model he got, but he is apparently a hinderer owner.
Kyle, I've only used my hinder a couple of times since you sharpened it, and it cuts very, very well. I was super impressed with that, man. I'm not going to get into that whole hinder conversation again, because I know some people seem to think that I'm being too. I really do love that knife, and I'm okay with the fact that it only has like S35VN edge retention. I only get passionate about it because it could be better. So why not? Why not just be better?
Apparently he bought it this morning. He must have bought it live, I'm guessing.
Oh, did he? Whose money do you use for that?
I don't know.
Did you guys buy him a hinder? Is that what happened?
Apparently.
Did he do one of those things where he says, "Y'all give me some money so I can buy this knife"?
Somebody said NAFSAIL gave it to him. Kyle Coonley, this is for you.
I gotta get me I like my new camera. I think it does a better job, but I have noticed on my videos, my voice sounds like I'm talking into a tin can. So, because it's got a little tiny built-in mic. So I guess I need to get an external mic.
Yeah, you can get pretty decent ones. The one I got it refurbished off Amazon for like way cheaper than a new one is, and it seems to work fine.
Well, that's kind of what I mean, Ian. I mean, his PayPal account paid for it. I get that, but somebody gave him that money.
Who put the money in his PayPal account?
Yeah, he don't. Yeah. I think if we all sat down and added up the amount of money that's been given to that guy to purchase some high-end knives, it probably hurt her feelings a little bit. But hey, man, it works for him.
Old Meathead.
There's old Meathead right there. Speak of the devil. Dip cans duct tape together.
I'll give Marty that one. That one's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good, Marty. Nothing wrong with that. That is what I need to do when I get a new mic. Like yours is just barely poking out in the corner right there.
Uh-huh.
Right there. I need to put a dip can lid on the front of it. So it looks like I'm talking into a dip can.
I've only checked out one Jack Wolf knife, but it's good. If you like slip joints, they're definitely worth it.
Yeah, Kevin says you should buy all of them.
All of them.
Yeah,
with matching slips.
Yeah, because apparently, action doesn't mean anything anymore. It's all about that clickety clackety pop.
I'll
just
tell you,
to get my opinion on that. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
I don't know. You might like. Well, I don't know. With your neuropathy and shit, it'd probably be a little bit difficult to open. But I mean, they get pretty fidgety.
How's that?
Especially if it's got a good half stop and good walk and talk. I mean, they're fidgety as hell.
I thought that was the whole point. Was that you wanted a knife to pretty much close itself.
Well,
I mean, we bashed thousands of knives over the past few years because they won't close themselves or they don't
fall shut.
Themselves. So how are we now paying $300 for something we have to actually push shut?
Well, it's relative. That type knife doesn't fall shut. This type knife does fall shut.
No, it's not.
So
because if it's relative,
if it's intended to fall shut, you want it to fall shut. If not,
what was intended to fall shut?
A knife with bearings.
If you say so.
I'm just saying.
I mean, every maker I've heard talk about it said, they never designed a knife to fall shut. That wasn't the purpose. Scotty, and you're 100% right. When they come out with that knife, that's the one I want. He wants a knife that pays for itself, not opens itself and closes.
You damn right.
Yeah.
Well, see, all I'm saying
Joshworth, that's not true either. I've got proof. Hang on, highlight that comment.
Which one?
Right there.
You highlight it.
Give me just a second. Because that's not true.
Where are you going, Shane?
I want to get something.
Hurry up.
I'm coming right back.
It's bad TV.
I got proof right here. The company that revolutionized button locks, I think we could all probably agree was Protect with the Malibu, correct? Here's an older Protect TR4 button lock. I'm matching the button, by the way, in case y'all were wondering. Does it flick? No. Slow roll it open. Mash the button to disengage the lock. I mean, it's smooth, but no. This company is button locks. You know, they revolutionized button locks, and this knife was never meant to drop shut.
What year is that from?
It never will drop shut. I don't know. I mean, I still love the knife, but when you take this apart and you realize that it's really crazy. I do it on screen, but I really struggle to put this back together when I take it apart. It on one side of the pivot, there's a tension washer. So in other words, it's wavy. The washer itself, when you lay it flat on the table, it don't lay flat. It's wavy. And on the other side, the blade itself rides flat against the aluminum scale. There's no washer, nothing. So it's just steel blade pivoting on the aluminum handle. And on the opposite side is that tension washer keeping it from being floppy.
That's what I was wondering, Pat, but I think it was bought new as a button lock. I just think that's some old technology there.
Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't an automatic. This was the TR4 button lock. And they're re-releasing it this year in Magna Cut on bearings with drop shutty action because that's what somebody decided everything needed. Now, will that knife be better than this one? Sure. I mean, this is still a great knife, but no, button locks weren't initially intended to drop shut.
But that's back in the old days.
Also needs a regrind. It's 154, and it's not super thick blade stock, but I think we think too much about blade stock. What we really need to start looking at is that plunge and seeing how much material they actually removed, because even though it shows up very well because of the lighting, they removed very, very little material from this. Another great example of that, of nice thin blade stock, that they removed little to no material, is everybody's favorite TRM Atom. Yeah, it's 0.9, but look at that plunge. Can you see that? You see that little silver line right there?
Yes, sir.
That's how little of material they removed. Now, that's a 17-degree edge bevel. Look how wide it is. And everybody raves about how slicey this knife is. It is slicey, but how good could it be if they had actually removed some blade material and got that behind the edge down to around 10 or 12?
Mark Herrera sent me a message, said, check your IG. He sent you a picture, apparently.
Mark Herrera did. Lacey, you're 100% correct. I get it that people like it. It's just not important to me. I just read Pocket Metal's comment. Pocket Metal, you know I'm kidding. I don't give a shit if y'all like slip joints. I was actually on my way out anyway, because like I said, I've been trying to spend a little less time.
Well, I mean, and I wasn't saying that a slip joint replaces, as Lacey so much loves to hear, drop shutty action. I'm just saying it's got its own place. You know, if I'm like sitting there just
it has nothing
fidgeting
to do
in hell,
place. It has nothing to do.
I mean, it does.
I guess, but I'm talking about the reason why I get fired up about it. It has nothing to do with how good a knife it is. None of that. The only reason why I'm so against it is because I don't understand how you go from bashing perfectly good pocket knives because they don't drop shut the way you want them to a week later bragging about a knife that will never drop shut. When your only reason for highlighting a knife previously was, man, look at how this thing dropped shut. With just tin blade that anyway.
So you're specifically talking about one person.
I'm talking about 3 or 4. Yeah. and the hypocrisy of that slip joints have created. Pocket Metal has been a slip joint guy ever since I've known him, and that's fine. That guy likes slip joints. I don't recall ever hearing Pocket Metal say that a knife was shit because it didn't drop shut the way he wanted it to. So he can talk about whatever he wants to. You know,
True
I
story.
just don't like hypocrisy.
Well, I mean, I guess because me, I do like a knife to drop shut, but I do also like slip joints. It just depends on what I want in that moment to
I
fidget
ain't talking
with.
about like, John. I'm talking about bad mouthing something. Bad mouthing a perfectly good cutting tool that doesn't do that one thing that you want it to do. Just like Ian just said, the Zine don't drop shut. You don't hear people talking shit about that. That's not fair. Why can't the Zine be a piece of shit because it don't drop shut?
I mean, it can. If you want it to be a piece of shit, it can be a piece of shit.
Yeah, but at least stick to your guns. You know, you don't say it, live by it. You know, that's all I'm getting at. Because we all are forgetting where all this came from. This thing blows my mind. And I already forget who it's made by. Hang on. Yeah. This is a U.S. made. Very expensive for its time in the 80s. Intrek. This thing is enormous. And this was considered a tactical folder with its very chalky aluminum scales. Look where they put that clip. Now, you know, they very well could have put it up here and made it, but nobody cared back then. That wasn't a point. Back then, people wanted something to be able to grab to pull it out of their pocket. You know why? Because this makes sense. What we want now, because some guy on a YouTube channel told us that it's not cool if it's not like that, doesn't make as much sense as this does. That's also a 440 blade on a over $200 knife. Check this out. Me and John talk about this. Look at this pivot, guys.
That is tiny.
Yeah. And it is highly off center, nearly touching on one side. Does it drop shut? Well, I mean, it can because the blade's so heavy.
But, just got to give it a shake.
Well, actually, it's changed. It's kind of.
That looks pretty centered to me.
Now. The next few times it won't be. But I'm not touching that pivot. But yeah, guys, believe it or not, this was at one point in time a Sabenza. This was a XM18, well, actually an XM24. This was a high-end tactical knife, and I think it's cool as shit. Just being able to experience it. You know, it's like a time capsule, but and USA made. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Let's see, does it drop? Oh, let's just try it naturally. Well, first of all, I never felt that the detent go up on the blade or any of that. So yeah, one shake and it drops shut. That is weird. Now we already looked. There was a detent, wasn't there, John?
Yeah, there's a detent ball and detent hole because you said the detent hole's visible with it open, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right there. But man, you can't feel it. So I don't know if it's just immediate. It is.
Is it?
It's as soon as you crack the. Yeah, I can see it actually. As soon as you push that liner over, the detent ball's on the blade.
So that's actually pretty revolutionary for that time because that's a big thing, that whole double clutch deal, and people are wanting to make the detent more and more immediate when you shut it.
Yeah, they. I know that's been a complaint with the Model 2. I haven't had it in hand yet, but I do agree. If it's a knife I care about the action and I want to fidget with it, it is very aggravating when you can crack the lock loose and the blade starts to fall, and as soon as you move your thumb off the lock, it'll actually redeploy.
Yeah,
that is annoying, you know. So hopefully that's something that he gets fixed. I wonder if there's going to be a Model 2 version 6 one of these days. If it's going to go through the same evolution that the Model 1 did, because I've watched, I think, 3 reviews on it, and all 3 people mentioned that the detent doesn't get up on the blade till it's nearly halfway shut.
Yeah.
Now, I'm probably gonna own one, but I don't care about that. I'm glad to know it, but I don't care about that.
And I could be wrong, but the way I understand double clutch is when you disengage the lock bar, but then it'll catch on the late detent, and then you have to basically depress the lock bar again to
I'd
get it to
actually
shut.
see some that would redeploy,
Yeah.
almost like it was spring loaded, like the blade would drop to about the 3/4 position, and then when you let go of the lock bar, because of that spring tension and the ball not been on the blade yet, it would kick the blade back open.
Yeah. And I just kind of equated it with having to double clutch a car, depress the clutch to get it out of gear, release. So you're basically depressing the lock bar twice.
Yeah.
So I think it really doesn't matter if it's a flipper or thumb stud or opening hole.
I don't own enough thumb studs to care. That's one of the things I do dislike about this knife. In all honesty, what I was upset about was I can't button lock flip it. You can mash that button. Well, I'll show you. I got the button mash now. I mean, it'll fall open. You can flick it, but you can't even button lock flick it. And it's only got a thumb stud on one side. So it's not the most, I don't know, it's not fidgety. It's not the most, I don't know what word I'm looking for, because the ergonomics are great. It's just the action is just not there. And this was still a $250, $270 knife in 154 cm. I really enjoy it, but I am going to have it reground.
Who are you going to have do that?
Huh?
I said, who are you going to have regrind it?
Oh, probably BGM.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, unless you guys know somebody better or somebody we would rather support.
No, he's great. That's who I would have gone with.
Brandon, I do. The only issue with it is I can't deploy it. It is a slip joint to me. So, it is what it is. It's no different than this buck 110 to me. I have to open it just like this.
Is it because of that crappy thumb stud or the action
Mostly.
or what? Is it?
Mostly, yeah. I can't access the thumb studs at all. I can't make them work. My little Hodeca, I can slow roll it just fine. I can't thumb flick anything. My thumb just will not. That's literally about as fast as it'll go. It just will not fire out there.
I'm pretty sure you can get aftermarket thumb studs for a Sebenza.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping some of this changes when, I've been fighting this neuropathy for so long and had just blamed everything on neuropathy, and come to find out I've got a whole other issue that's probably causing me as much problems as the neuropathy is. I've got really bad carpal tunnel. I told you I did that nerve test, and 2 of my fingers are actually crosswired. Like when they shock the nerve up here, the wrong finger moves. So it makes sense that my hands don't, I can't manipulate some things very well.
They shocked his pinky and his left leg jerked.
Yeah. Dude, they had to turn it all the way up too. I mean, literally, they were tasing me. She was apologizing every time she hit the button. She's like, I have to be able to record something. Yeah. You're right, Kyle. You're right. My thumb's very strong, but yeah, you're probably going to win that battle. No, Brandon, no. That's really hard for me to say that because, I very much appreciate the fact that Tim Reed was one of the first to make a high-end production U.S. made folder in Magna Cut and do it right. So I want to root for him, and I still do. I love Tim to death and everything he does. But for me personally, the Hinder is a better knife for me. It works for me and my issues and all that stuff. It works a whole lot better. Um, and I bitch about the heat treat, and in all honesty, I may never need to sharpen that knife again, no more than I'll use it. But yeah, the Hinder by far, I enjoy it more. Absolutely. I just hate the guy that makes it.
Yeah, I feel you there, Twang thing. And I never had a issue with the functionality of the thumb studs. I just think they look kind of ugly.
Yeah, they hurt me. Man, it's literally painful because in order for me to push hard enough to get past the detent, that point is jabbing into my thumb. And I know this sounds crazy, but to have hands that I've lost sensation in, but at the very same time, they're also super sensitive. Like if you were to try to toss me a set of keys, I can tell you right now that I'm going to let them hit the floor. I cannot catch them. It hurts bad. So my hands are very tender when it comes to things touching them, yet I can't feel things very well to manipulate them. I know that don't make any sense, but yeah, it was painful for me to open that. I'm sure you guys, if you go back and look on some of my earlier lives where I opened that Sabenza and I got really embarrassed because I tried 2 or 3 times and finally just had to two-hand open it.
Well, I think the Sabenza I owned had shit detent, so
Yeah.
I mean, you could just lightly
I
shake
was
it and
very strong, and it
would
was
pop.
very pressure sensitive too. So the harder I struggled, you can even see at times my hand shake. I don't realize that I'm just applying more pressure to the lock bar, making the situation even worse. So yeah, that's why I say don't judge a Sabenza by my experience with it, because mine is unique to me and my handicap. For most people, it's great. It's a great knife. It just don't work for me. Now I have thought about one thing. I probably would enjoy a left-handed Sabenza, just because of the lock bar being on the opposite side and the thumb stud being on the correct side, because I can manipulate knives much better with my left hand than I can my right. But that's why I like flippers, because I can use them right-handed.
Look at you go.
Don't give me no issues. That thing's going to cut me one of these days, just because my hands are so slow to get out of the way. It's going to get me eventually. You guys want to see the Hinder? See this edge Kyle put on it?
I do.
It's not mirrored. I didn't want a mirrored edge because the M390 is a little soft, so I had him leave it a little toothy. But man, it's sharp.
Dude, the one thing I hate about the StreamYard chat is you can't actually see the damn emojis, but it's kind of funny reading them.
Yeah.
Face fuchsia poop shape, face purple white eyes.
Yeah, the way they try to describe them.
Yeah. So apparently you got a face with a fuchsia poop shape.
I still haven't done any of my mods on it. I've got let me show you this. This is the blue G10. I've got a black micarta scale for it, and I bought a power supply to bronze all my hardware to go along with that black scale. I think that's going to look really good. But yeah, Kyle made her very, very sharp. I've only used it a couple of times to cut light stuff. Probably all I'll ever do with it, because I'm not in that situation anymore. I know for a fact it wouldn't do that when I got it. So thank you very much, Mr. Coonley.
That's beautiful, man.
It is. Again, I think I just like it more too, because it's not as plain as the Sabenza. I know that's kind of one of the attractions of the Sabenza, is it being very plain, but I think this is just fancy enough without going overboard. I really like it. Well, I don't like about hinderers, and if you've got one, I apologize, but I can't stand that. Have you seen that really fancy pocket clip they got with the gears and stuff all over it?
Yeah.
It's gaudy as hell looking, man.
Those clips cost like a couple $100, don't they?
It's so gaudy looking. And it looks like something the kid put together with some watch pit parts and some super glue.
Maybe he did.
Maybe so.
What's up, Scoot?
Maybe so.
Oh, and again, guys, for all your sharpening needs, Sling and Dong sharpening services.
Yeah. I guess if Kyle would like to, he could even throw his IG link up there or something so people know how to get in touch with him.
He could do that.
We're short a mod tonight. Our other mod.
Where is Cletus?
Somewhere in the Sierra Nevada mountain range camping.
Oh, he's going on. He goes on some cool ass adventures, man.
Yeah, he does. I'm really hoping he hasn't been consumed by a mountain lion. I was told if I didn't hear from him by Tuesday to contact the local authorities and tell them where he was at. So I wrote it down, what his location was. Yeah, so yeah. I knew he wasn't going to be here. He left Friday, I think. Friday or Saturday, he left for a hiking / camping trip before Cletus the Third gets here.
Oh. Yeah, I like when he goes camping, too, because he posts some bitchin' pictures.
Yeah. Kyle, you can post your own stuff here, dude. I'm asking you to. So self-promoting. I'm asking you to.
Do what the man says, Kyle.
No, it's not like that. But... And also throw up Lacey's, too, so these guys know where they can get her diamond emulsions. So I don't know if she's still selling them direct. I know there was talks at one point about her stuff being at Blue Creek. Am I right about that?
I believe so.
Lacey, let us know. Do we still have to buy it directly from you, or?
What the hell is this one, dude? Hand purple blue piece in pink, face blue ? 1 in the stink. It sounds like the Shocker, but is that a emoji?
I was trying to look on my TV screen to see if it must have already passed. Yeah, it did. I missed it. Kyle, Duffy, do you want to be quiet for a few? Oh, I love
500, 600 seconds, 500 seconds, some shit.
Oh, here we go. Limited micron sizes at Blue Creek. Yeah.
And
well, I mean, Lacey, I guess what I'm asking. Okay, all else by direct. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Kyle, throw up Lacey's IG. I didn't want to send people directly to you.
Where'd you go, Shane? You froze up on us, buddy. You always make the best freeze faces. You beautiful bastard.
Hey, it came back.
Hey, there you are.
I'm surprised it didn't shut all the way down. Look at this bullshit Javon has posted. I was picking on him earlier, so I'm assuming he thinks he
You talking about this?
I posted it.
You took it away
at the same time. Yeah. Hey, we do have big news though, guys. Javon is going to work for Cutlery Corner, so that he can talk about knives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that way you can tune in anytime, day or night, and see Javon shilling some fucking slip joints on Cutlery Corner. John, are you actually going to go to work for Cutlery Corner, or are you just going to change your channel name to Cutlery Corner?
Dude, I can remember back in the day. I don't even know if it was called Cutlery Corner then, but I can remember on weekends, you party down and then you wake up early in the morning at night and you're like, damn, I could use another beer. See what's on TV. And it was I think it was on QVC maybe, but it was a dude, Odell was the guy selling knives then.
Yeah, they were still hen roosters though, weren't they?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy. Is that not all done out of the basement of Smoky Mountain Knife Works?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think it is because Hen and
Is it?
Rooster's their brand. I think that's all filmed at
Hen
Smoky
and
Mountain
Rooster,
High.
Rough Riders, their brand. I don't know about Hen and Rooster. It didn't used to be, did it?
Maybe I'm wrong, dude, but I could have swore that Cutlery Corner was all filmed. It was all right there out of Smoky Mountain Knife Works. But I could be wrong about that. If so, I apologize. There's Lacey's link right there, guys.
I still ain't seen Kyle's link.
Yeah. Johnny, what do you mean I have episodes? I do have manic episodes. That is true.
Cue Ball's cutting corner.
Yeah.
I'm possibly dopey. I remember Odell was the man back in the day.
Yeah. You used to get that tactical knife kit. Come with 2 samurais, 2 axes, and 48 different style pocket knives for $19.99.
Dude, for like $50, you could fully stock your flea market booth.
Yeah. And a lot of people did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could go to the flea markets around here. They sure enough had them, dude. They bought that big box set.
Selling for like $10 a knife or some shit.
Yeah, absolute garbage.
And make like 200% profit.
Shit, more than that.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have to. They talked about it. If you sell these for $10 a piece, after the 8th piece, you're in the profit. There's still like 200 something knives.
Yeah.
But people bought them, man. I ate breakfast the other day with an old timer right here. His name's Gerald. He owned a house moving company. That used to be. Well, Gerald retired fairly comfortably. That used to be a big deal around here. He's moved a bunch of houses, from across the city to across the country, entire houses. But I saw him the other day, and he was asking me what I had going on, and I told him, and asked me what knife I had on me. So I had my TRM Adam on me at the time, and I showed it to him. He asked me how much it was, and I told him, and he was like, "Man, I've been carrying this little buck right here." It was just a FRN handled 440 or 420, whatever it is Buck uses so much. Little black plastic handled 440C blade with a tip down pocket clip. And I asked him, I was like, "Let me ask you something, Gerald." I said, "Have you ever gone to use that knife and thought, this isn't enough? This just won't do. This is just not a good enough knife?" And he said, "No. Not in 30 years I've never thought that I needed a better knife than what I had." And I opened it and checked it. It's dull as shit. But even then, the only reason I mentioned what he does is because he's an old timer that has been a blue collar hard worker his entire life. We don't think about when you move houses, you're not just talking about disconnecting everything and jacking the house up. You've got to move mailboxes and take down red lights and put it all back up as you pass it. It's a lot of work, and that man's been working for 30 years with that probably $15 buck, and never once did it cross his mind that it wasn't enough. I was actually surprised that it wasn't a slip joint, but it was a little lock back buck.
It's funny how there's different levels of knife guys. There was a guy at work 2 days ago. He's wearing a Smoky Mountain Knife Works t-shirt. I'm like, "Oh, it's a freaking knife guy." So I start talking to him, and I'm like, "Yeah, you going to Blade Show?" He's like, "No, no. But I go by the Knife Works every time I'm in Gatlinburg." But he likes that store. He probably buys cheaper knife. I think he was carrying a CRKT or something.
Yeah. Well, that store really is. I mean, we all look at it as like Knife Mecca, but for the most part, the majority of its visitors, it's just a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
They won't go in and see the super cheap done fake Game of Thrones chair. And, if you haven't been to Smoky Mountain Knife Works and understand, dude, it is a huge souvenir shop that happens to sell a bunch of knives. I mean, I've got here somewhere, I think it's in my knife box, an actual bullet that was dug up out of the ground that was fired during the Civil War. They've got stuff like that. They've got shiny rocks. They've got koozies. They've got $5,000 high-end AR-15s. If you want to buy that, they've got little bit of everything. But primarily, I would say the majority of their customers, it's a tourist stop. It's just something cool to look at, walk around in, and maybe buy some beef jerky or some
What he's saying is, if Smoky Mountain Knife Works was at the beach, it'd have little jars with baby sharks in them.
Exactly.
So
yeah, it's a tourist trap that happens to sell knives. Yeah,
it's a big one though.
What do you mean did you put Brandon Sutton in timeout, Kyle? Why would you do that?
Because he's ruthless.
Kyle's a savage.
He is. He wields the band hammer with great.
For any of my
gusto.
subscribers and people that like to come to this live stream, please don't let Kyle hurt your feelings. He's like that asshole bouncer that every now and then just has to bounce somebody just to make him feel good about himself. Oh, he said you wouldn't. That'll do it.
Well, he's got to make sure he's still got it,
Yeah, make sure this band button still works. Brandon said I did not. Oh, we got a kindergarten fight going on over here. They're gonna be arguing over whose dad can whoop who here in a minute.
You're damn right. I want to know whose dad's gonna win.
Javon saying I would. Did you put Javon in timeout?
What is damn Kyle on one tonight? Is he
it seems like it.
He's fucking with everybody.
Yeah. Apparently, we need to send this guy some knives to sharpen to burn off some of that testosterone. Who are you talking about, Lacey?
Oh, her dad. She said her dad. The only two knives he owns are two big ass Shiros, and then somebody asked if those were really big knives for Russians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep up, man. We got a whole conversation going on in the chat.
I know, and I'm bad to miss out on it. Blue Mountain, I ain't seen no cowbell money yet. Take my shirt off.
I ain't lying.
Actually, somebody did do a super sticker, and we missed it.
No, we didn't. I put it up there.
Oh, did you? Who was that?
Damn it. I don't remember.
Who it was.
As you were busy running your... Oh, God. There it goes, guys.
Yeah. I feel awfully cheap getting naked for $2, but, let's face it, there's not a whole lot to look at here.
Well,
unless you like seeing a heart.
He don't show nipples for less than $5.
Yeah, you ain't got no nipple for $2.
No.
Yeah. That scar is nasty, ain't it?
We can barely see it.
It's very.
It was El Cap.
Touch it like that.
El Cap sent the super sticker.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, El Cap. And Twang donated 5 memberships.
Oh shit! When did that happen?
I don't know. That's what Kyle's saying. I don't know if it just happened or you should tell us.
I think that happened before we went live because I saw there was a comment in there saying that somebody had just become a member.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
I just realized that I can't tell who's member. I don't see any membership things in my chat.
Well, it doesn't show them on.
Yes, I do. No, it's that little green.
Oh yeah, the little sideways S looking thing.
Yeah, there's Lacey and Todd Carr and Crispy Critter, Kyle. All have them. Yeah. You got to get you some fucking memberships. That seems logical. Kyle, real talk. Did you get mine? Seems logical. Have you and Kyle ever had a real conversation? Or has it just been Kyle fucking with you? Oh, it happened just now. Good deal. Thank you, Twang Thing.
Oh, damn. That's what's up.
So I want to ask you guys, do I need to change the emojis? Are the lizards and the merkins? I thought they were very cool, but would you guys rather have something more creative?
Well, what's the one in the stink?
Huh?
The emoji would. Do you have a shocker emoji?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I posted the emojis earlier and it said like one in the stink at the end of it. Like
Say
purple.
what?
You didn't see that?
No.
You were-
Thank you, Pocket Metal. I appreciate that, buddy.
I'll try and find them.
I'll tag you in all my heat treat and HRC conversations from here on out. You and Gary, because I know how much Gary loves hearing about heat treats. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm about to find it.
I thought we had the two emojis. I thought we just had the merkin and the lizard.
Well, I mean, there's the face fuchsia poop shape face purple. Oh, that's regular emojis. That ain't
that's
your...
just a regular emoji. That's not a channel emoji.
But then there's what? Where the hell is that one? I don't see it now. I see a bunch of poop shapes. Oh, there we go. Hand purple blue piece in pink, face blue question mark, one in the stink.
I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know what the emoji looks like.
I don't either.
I see Jacob Vermette just posted a purple hand that looks like this, but there's no face. I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. This says hand purple.
Again, nuts for knives.
This one says hand purple blue piece. It don't say nothing about a face.
Oh,
we're gonna figure this out, guys.
Yeah,
got a bunch of Eli Merkins.
The one in the stink emoji again, so I can see what it is.
Or maybe it was an emoji and then the actual words. Like somebody posted an emoji and then the words in the pink and then one in the stink.
I'd love to have a two in the pink and one in the stink emoji for myself. If anybody, I mean, I guess all I need is
okay.
Is this.
Yeah, see, Jacob said he wrote in the stink. So yeah, we figured it out. We have solved the mystery.
Yeah. I do need a shocker emoji though. I might have enough members to have another emoji now. It only allowed me to create two to begin with. Yeah, it's the shaka.
It is the shaka.
Yeah. If your girl gets mad about a shocker, you with the wrong girl. Michael Morgan.
I know, that's what I was looking at.
That dude's sense of humor, man. Oh my gosh. He's just perfect. He's got the best sense of humor anybody I've ever met.
Dopey.
Oh, I didn't mean to. What is this? The nipple banner. Did they take down your pictures, Lacey?
No, she's talking about the banner at the bottom of our screen, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cute. Lacey posted a picture of her Manix 2 lightweight clipped into her little spaghetti string top. So I made sure to comment and let her know that the knife was profiling. But nobody was looking at the profile of the knife. It was what was about a half inch below the knife that I think was what got everybody's attention.
What was below the knife?
It looked like Lacey was standing in front of an open freezer door.
Would there like frozen waffles in there or something in the picture or something?
John, why do you do that? Why are you trying to force me to say it?
I'm confused as to what was going on.
Right now.
100% confused. I just don't know. I want to get the middle.
Very thin, spaghetti string top with no underclothing on under it.
Oh, so the rest of her shirt was below the... Okay, I got you.
Her nipples were poking out, John.
Oh, dear God. Why'd you have to say that, man?
Because you made me say
She's in the chat.
I know.
Shane. Now she's probably embarrassed.
Golly, no, she's not. She knew exactly what she was doing.
You have no clue.
She even commented that she knew exactly what she was doing.
See, Maddie, I was wondering the same thing, Maddie. I figured there was like some Legos in the pictures. There's Lego My Egos.
Well, it just looked, a little chilly in that room. That or
just
maybe
could have been the AC.
Scrolling over pictures of me on my IG when she took the picture. Could be that too.
Kyle's dumb.
Lacey, I'll tell you what I appreciated about the booty pic. I appreciated that you took it close enough that I didn't have to pinch the screen to zoom in to see it. It's like the entire picture was just perfectly framed right around her butt cheeks. That was that was perfect.
Because you probably have a hard time zooming with your.
Now, for all you perverts that are
neuropathy.
leaving right now to go to Lacey's Instagram and see this booty pic, shame on y'all, because I stumbled across it organically. So that doesn't make me a weirdo.
No, that makes y'all a bunch of pervs seeking it out.
Yeah, anybody that goes and looks for it now, shame on you. Yeah. I remember the first picture like that Lacey did. It was just pure. I don't know if she did it on purpose or not, but it was an optical illusion that made it look like her nipple was exposed, and people had a fit over it on Instagram. Dopey, I can parody that booty shot. I mean, not with that cute a booty, but now known as 9-inch nips. I got little bitty nips. I don't know why. I don't think that they're abnormally tiny, but for a 6'3", 270-pound guy, they are.
Copperlight Steve.
Yeah, those of y'all with more than one device. Yeah, or know how to open a new window.
You don't know how to do that?
Barely.
Oh, it's the little plus sign at the top.
Yeah, I know, but I still end up closing what I'm doing half the time.
What's up, Ed?
It wasn't taken on purpose, but it was perfect. Oh my God! No, for a fact, every single person that's seen it zoomed. You're 100% right. I zoomed in to see if that's what it really was. There should be that would be really cool. There should be an option on Instagram where you can see how many people zoomed into your picture and what part they zoomed in on. How embarrassing would that be?
Pretty embarrassing for the one zooming in.
Nah, I don't have no shame. I don't get embarrassed. Lacey knows I've zoomed all her pictures. We have a very open and honest relationship.
What's up, G Bizzle?
And I do not look like pepperoni nips unless it's those on those little cheap $1 pizzas with a little bit.
The little teeny little baby pepperonis. Oh my God, dude! Why is it so dark? That's weird.
They just always have been.
I can't unsee that shit, dude.
You've seen it before?
No, I didn't look. You caught me by surprise there.
Oh. I don't have a jitterbug. I probably should have a jitterbug. I struggle with the smartphone all the time. There's something wrong with it. And every time I have a little money and think about replacing it, it acts right for a week or two. Well, the past 2 weeks, it's been horrible. Literally 10 times a day, I have to turn it off, turn it back on. It'll just start flickering and opening apps and doing all kind of crazy shit. Like there's some Chinese hacker on the other end.
How old is your phone?
It's I got it the night before I started my channel. I got a new phone and started my channel the next day. So year and 4 months, 16 months old.
They do look like moles.
Yeah.
You need to have those looked at, Shane.
Yeah. Had a buddy of mine, Meathead, if he's still in here, can tell you, we had a buddy that had, that's how we've been on this conversation before, but they had 3 nipples. He had one down below the other one. Yeah. I didn't know it was all that common a thing, but apparently a lot of belly moles, come to find out, are actually underdeveloped nipples.
Is that what?
I mean, that's all it looked like. It just looked like a little brown mole. But he went to the doctor, and the doctor told him it was a underdeveloped nipple. No. Which makes you wonder, at one point in time, did humans have a whole row of nipples like dogs do?
They might have. Back when they used to have litters.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know you can get boob jobs done on your dog? I knew a guy that raised pits, and he was a very responsible breeder, but he only bred every other season. And then after 4 litters, So right around at 5 years old, he would take the money he made off the last litter and take the female in, and they would actually cut right down her stomach, right outside of her nipples on both sides. They would cut that entire patch out, remove all of her nipples and that whole piece of stomach skin, and sew it back together so that they didn't sag. But it left her. It was odd looking because her stomach skin and fur looked just like the fur on her back or her ribs. She didn't have that thin hair on her stomach where you could kind of see her skin. But yeah, he'd have her nipples removed after the 4th or 5th litter, so she didn't have to spend the rest of her life with saggy boobs.
That's almost the weirdest thing. I didn't know they did that. That's weird as hell.
And it's not that expensive either.
Good to know.
Well, I mean, he was selling the pups for $400 a piece, and usually had 10 to 12 pups. He said it cost him about half of what he made off the final litter, so about $2,000. But when you're talking about dogs that expensive, I don't think he did it. I don't think it had anything to do with the dog's self-esteem. What it had to do with was when you're selling expensive dogs like that, you want to be able to show the mom and show siblings so that people can see what the genetics are like. So you don't want to take them to show them the mom and she's some old flappy booby breeding machine.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah. Who texted me at 10:30 at night? So who this is? So Meathead. I ain't reading that out loud.
Is it that bad?
Anytime you open your phone, you see comments from Meathead, it's probably that bad. It's not something you want to read out loud. Let's see where this goes.
What, Kyle, you thinking about having your nipples removed? Are you frozen, Shane? Or are you just being real still?
That's why I don't read the chat. Because when I do, I just get zoned in.
It's going to take them a minute, guys. It 100% is bad form to let your dog trip over her nipples.
Yeah. Oh, here's the answer.
Crispy critter tonight is some Bitburger. What in the hell is going on over there? You got to fill us in, homie. You can't.
Somebody might be offended.
I mean, somebody's gonna be offended, but you can't laugh like that.
Do you know what you call a Mexican midget?
No.
They call them a paragraph because they aren't a full essay.
I've heard that one before, but I had forgotten.
I have not.
And it's still funny.
Yeah. To all my Hispanic friends, no offense, but that's just funny. Or to all of our midget friends. Do we have any midgets in the community?
I don't know.
God, we need one.
We do.
Me and Mia tried to hire one time.
For what?
We wanted to hire one to hang out at the shop with us and run around with a air horn just screaming, "That ain't gonna work!"
Why?
We thought it would be cool. Every time we go to do something, just have some midget sneak up behind us with an air horn and scream, "That ain't gonna work!" Because half the shit we did didn't work. Let me tell you something. Me and that man accomplished. We built some. We built some really cool shit out of that garage, and even got to a point where people were coming by just to see what we were working on. But what those people don't know is all the failures that we went through to get there, dude. The rat incident was by far one of the funniest nights. We had this rat living in the shop. You know, it's just a metal shop, and like where the walls met the floor, there was a gap, so you could wash the floor off. So it wasn't sealed at all whatsoever. So you weren't gonna keep the field mice out. We were in there working one night, and it was cold, man. We had a wood burning heater in there, but the time we were building, I think we were still building dune buggies at the time, and we discovered that there was an empty radiator box leaned up against the wall, and there was a huge rat in it. This rat was, I can't show you on here, but it was tail and all. It was probably a foot long. Big old rat for Alabama anyway. I know New York's got bigger ones, but
Was it one of them damn wharf rats?
I don't know. So I decide, we can't just let it go. That can't happen. So I close the box up and just start fucking shaking it as hard as I can, slamming this rat back and forth inside the box, trying to kill it. It didn't phase it.
No, you can't. No, you can't kill a rat that way.
So there was 3 of us out there, me and Meathead, our buddy Daniel, and so we decided to try something. We opened the wood burning stove, and I don't remember who played what part. It's been a while. Somebody poured gasoline inside the wood burning stove, and then I think I had the rat with a long pair of needle nose pliers. This set of pliers was probably 18 inches long. And I had the rat by the tail with these needle nose pliers. And one of the other guys poured gas in the heater. And the plan was that as I threw the rat into the wood burning heater, they were going to light the gasoline. Well, yeah, Meathead was the gas guy. Daniel had the fire, and I had the rat. So, yeah, we should, as grown men, we should have known that this gas has been inside this wood burning heater closed up. Horrible idea. So as I sling the rat in, Daniel strikes the lighter, and there's this explosion, and this huge fireball comes out the door of the heater. And it's going to be hard to do with the camera where it's at. But that rat, when the explosion happens, that rat comes flying out of the heater, and this huge fireball with its little legs tucked back, and its tail straight out, flying through the air like Superman, fucking on fire. I'm talking about this rat is fully engulfed on fire. And hits the floor. We all start running around trying to stop. Because, dude, there's flammable shit everywhere in this shop. We got all kind of equipment. Everything that means anything to us is inside this shop. This rat is running around engulfed in flames. We're trying to stomp it out to keep the shop from burning down. And never did. It got away. We never found it. So somewhere in the Mill Village, for who knows how long, running
there's
around
a hairless rat running around.
Burn up rat.
Man. Where you went wrong is y'all didn't have a catch can man.
I guess. We never fully thought out any of our plans. We just, if it's usually Meathead too. If Meathead had an idea, we just went with it, and it never went well. It was always something bad happening, man. The maddest I've ever been at, and we had a dune buggy that Daniel had bought. It was a very sought after frame, hard to find. It was called, they're made in California, actually. I bet Patina's heard of them, but it was a Newsom buggy. And we had a friend who had a Newsom, and this guy outclimbed all of us. We didn't build our dune buggies for sand dunes. These were just, you've seen my picture of my green one on Instagram, but we built them to trail ride and climb really steep, like power line cuts and stuff. And this guy with this Newsom was always outperforming the rest of us. So anyway, Daniel found a Newsom. And so we were gonna have to rebuild it because it had rolled off of the 3 ditches down in St. Clair County, which is, you roll a buggy off 3 ditches, it's probably ruined. So anyway, we get it, and it's just all warped up, man. Bars are bent, and I told him, like, look, we're gonna replace one pipe at a time, and to try to keep this thing from getting out of square, trying to keep it from warping. Well, I went in to eat dinner and left those assholes out there in the shop. And I told them, guys, whatever y'all do not cut the floor pan out of this dune buggy. Because if you do, it's gonna twist. And we'll never get it right. Of course, I get through eating dinner and come outside, and there it sits. No floor pan, and it's literally, it went from this to this. Just pipes all twisted up. And We did our best to fix it, but it's still on flat ground. The right front tire didn't touch the street. You could drive it down the street. The two back tires were on the road. The left front was touching the road, and the right front wasn't even spinning because the some bitch twisted up so bad. That was 100% Meathead's fault. He only cut that floor pan out because I told him not to. Stream of motion. Man, you know damn well you only did it because you wanted to run it for Daniel. You knew it was going to run that frame. You didn't give a shit because Daniel was just one of them buddies, man. Yeah. That's how we met, actually. We actually the first time we ever met, we passed one another in the woods one night, but didn't speak. Then the next day, Meathead was out riding his dune buggy down the road and passed my house by accident, pure accident, and saw me outside because me and my wife were out in the yard fighting because I just found out that she cheated on me. So I was in the midst of being in the front yard screaming and cussing at her when Meathead passed by. So he turned around and just came back, pulled up right in between us, right in the middle of our big argument. And, so we had to stop arguing to talk to Meathead. And we were nearly inseparable after that moment.
Can I ask what both of y'all were doing, just walking through the woods and happened to pass each other?
We weren't walking through the woods. We were riding through the woods in dune buggies.
Oh, okay.
We had just never. I had just got my dune buggy. He had just got his. We kind of fell in with the same crowd riding with them, and we passed each other a couple of times, but didn't really speak. And for those of y'all who want to know what Meathead looks like, if you look up the Yellow Wolf kicking video, it was his very first music video. Just type in Yellow Wolf kicking.
He's the dude driving the truck, right?
Yeah, somewhere after the 2-minute mark, you see this bald-headed guy with a goatee who's clearly just ate a handful of Lortabs in a square-body Chevy out in a mud pit, and they get right up in his face. His eyes are all bugged out from too many pills. That's Meathead. I'm not saying that looks like Meathead. That is Meathead. Yeah. He's in the Yellow Wolf kicking video. That still pisses me off, dude. I worked so many hours helping with all those videos, and I was never in you. Don't tell all my business. Man, you come to the wrong place, buddy. We don't have no shame. We don't hide nothing in here. Meathead is completely clean, by the way. He got off all that, but yeah. I only described it that way because that's how you described it. You look like you was peeled up mad as hell. But I worked days on Yellow Wolf's videos, and all my any picture of me, I signed the waivers and everything, and it all ended up on the cutting room floor. But Meathead made it in the video.
Damn right.
He made it in during a collage of white trash. That was the whole point of that video. All the pictures in that video, all the footage was of the most white trash people Yellow Wolf could find from his hometown to showcase, and Meathead made it.
Wait, is he driving the truck or is he sitting in the passenger seat?
Well, you got to remember it looks opposite because of the filming. There's a chick in the passenger seat.
Okay. All right, hold on. Hold on.
That was my goddaughter, Jessica. She practically lived with us. She was riding in a truck with Meathead. Are you going to pull it up?
Hold on just a damn second, homie.
You going to show them Meathead?
We got Meathead.
All right, we got a Meathead sighting.
Hold on.
I'll tell you if this is it or not. That's him.
Meathead.
That's my boy Meathead right there.
What's up? Meathead, everybody, Meathead.
Yeah, that's right. My daughter's in the truck with him too, but she ducked. Why did my daughter duck down in the cab of your truck, Meathead? That's something I need to know. And you do realize that we've got Said Faction's background and Said Stevie's brand up in the corner, right?
Yeah. I saw that before we ever started. I was going to ask you about it, but I figured there was some sort of motive behind it. There you go.
Look, watch Shang go, y'all.
Look at Shane doing tech stuff.
That's right. Let's see if you click this right here, you won't be able to see any of
Look
that.
at that.
It just zooms it right back in on us.
I'm doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot Allison was in. Shelby was in the truck with my youngest daughter was in the truck with Hee Haw. He only made a momentary clip. You can see him in his F-350 doing donuts. Yeah. They took us all out to this farm where they had this red mud pit. Fire department came out there and soaked it down good, got it good muddy so we could do donuts for that music video. Yeah. I'll still tell you, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen, and it didn't make the video. Towards the end of that video, Yellow Wolf is rapping and dancing in front of the Gadsden Cinemas, and it had been perfect weather all day. We get there, sun goes down. He's in front of that movie theater has been closed down for years, but they had the executive vice president of Sony Urban Music here with Yellow Wolf. He went to Alabama Power and had them cut the power onto that building for one day so they could turn the lights on. So you could see the billboard. They knew half the bulbs were blown. They wanted it. Like I said, it was as white trash as possible. But like right in the middle of recording, dude, just out of nowhere comes this downpour. So while they're filming, it goes from Yellow Wolf doing his dance and rapping, and it was like a Hollywood special effect. It's just this straight downpour of rain comes down, and nobody stops, dude. He just keeps going. And it's just pouring down rain for like 30 seconds, and then it just stops. And that guy from Sony Urban was like, I've spent millions of dollars recording music videos, and nothing tops this. He's like, I never could have captured something like this in a million years. But because the camera wasn't prepared for the rain to fit the lens fogged, because it was middle of summer, it was hot outside. The lens fogged, and they had to cut the footage and refilm it, dude. It was so perfect.
Well,
oh, you put it up, and I took it down.
Yeah, you damn sure you got
it. I didn't concentrate.
I
was wearing jeans. Me and that dude have been through some times, dude. We were so stressed out. I swear, I thought we were both just going to fall over of heart attacks. We put ourselves in so many horrible, horrible situations, and how the hell we came out of all of them with our health, and I have no idea. One of my favorite conversations with Meathead, he was telling me how crazy I was for leaving my first wife. He was like, dude, you walking away from a 3-story house, and there's like 5 cars in the yard and 4-wheelers and boats, and I think we had 7 big screen TVs, and I mean, we had it going on. He's like, you're gonna leave all that, and I remember times I made, if I'd known that's all it was gonna cost, I'd have wrote that bitch a check years ago.
Damn.
I'd write her another one to double it right now. I just can't be married to her. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you should have been featured on an episode of MTV Cribs. All that shit you had.
It wasn't that nice, but we had acquired some nice.
Sounds
shit.
pretty lavish, dude. You have a boat in the driveway?
Yeah, bass boats, 4-wheelers. Yeah, the only person that got anything out of that divorce was Meathead. I had about a $5,000 metal nice storage building on skids. That right before they foreclosed on the house, Meathead went up there and drug it to his house. That and my riding lawnmower. He got my riding lawnmower. What'd you give me for that riding lawnmower, Meathead? $100 for a brand new John Deere riding lawnmower. I was ready to go.
It wasn't a zero turn, was it?
I walked outside and got in the shittiest car in the yard with a basket of clothes, my razor, and my alarm clock. That's all I took. That was the happiest trip I've ever driven. Just driving the road in my piece of shit Jeep Cherokee.
Why did you have a razor?
Because I was very picky about my Gillette Sensor razor.
Oh, you used to shave back then?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to have it. Meathead's the one that shaved my head the first time. He taught me into it, shaved my head. I did let it grow back and then realized that I hated it. So he shaved it for me again, and I've been bald ever since. You still got that lawnmower? Yeah, I remember that. Now I remember you telling me that Pawpaw claimed that lawnmower. Me and his Pawpaw, bless that man's heart. We put that poor old man through so much shit. We'd take his boat out jug fishing at night, knowing that as long as we was out on that river in his boat, that old man was not sleeping. He couldn't. He was always worried about what was it he called me. He had a word for me. Yeah, he'd ask me, "You still hanging around that riffraff?" Like I was the bad influence on me. Yeah, we'd take his boat out fishing at night, get home 4:30 in the morning. He's still awake. We'd keep him up all night worried about us.
So whenever Meathead shaved your head, did you still have a mullet?
No, he shaved it slick.
I'm saying before the hair you had when he said, "I'm gonna shave your head."
No, I didn't have a mullet at the time.
Okay.
It was starting to get pretty thin on top. It's weird because like I could let it grow back right now and it's the exact same. I actually, it's hard to tell because it's blonde, but I actually have enough hair on top to cover most of this, but it does take a little bit of strategic combing. So I was like, nah, fuck that. Riffraff. Those of y'all that don't know, riffraff is actually like when you're riding down the river and you see the rocks piled up along the riverbank. That's what riffraff actually is. But that's what his pawpaw called me, was riffraff. Yeah, because I'm sure in his mind, Meathead was a good kid, didn't do nothing wrong.
And you sullied his reputation. Meathead said that's rip rap.
Oh, maybe he's right. Maybe I've been wrong about that all these. He would know more about the river than I would for sure. Except for the fact that there are alligators in the Coosa River. He argued that with me for years. Telling me that I was crazy as hell. There wasn't no alligators in the Coosa River. Well, we had fun with that too. I even called the Department of Fish and Game. And the old man that answered the phone was like, "Son, I pulled my first alligator out of the Coosa River in 1976 in Wise Lake. Wise Lake's even further north than here. And there's a dam between them and us, so that means there has to be alligators here." And Meathead just refuses to believe it because he ain't never seen one. We sent you that video me and Smooch did that day we encountered that alligator. There used to be nothing made me happier. Nothing in the world made me happier than tormenting Meathead. If I could cause him mental distress or pain or anxiety, nothing has ever made me happier than that. It's my favorite thing to do. But y'all don't get so wrong. I shoot every one of you over in a second. So that's alligator can't drive. How they gonna get past the dam? How it all started was Alabama Power released some alligators into our water system years ago to try to curb the beaver population, because Alabama Power do not like beavers damming up waterways. And but the issue is they can turn them loose here; they will survive. But because we're a little far north, they don't grow like they would down in Florida. So they typically don't get much bigger than about 6 feet. And 6 feet sounds big until you figure how much that is tail. A 6 foot long alligator probably ain't a foot wide. So they're really just dangerous to the beavers. But they here for sure.
They are. The banner says so.
Yeah. I've only felt guilty about hurting Meathead one time. Well, 1.5 times. But when I hit him in the head with that crankbait, I felt pretty bad about that.
Did it stick in his head?
Oh, dude. It not only, no. It went in and hooked his skull, and I'd slung it so hard that when the hooks hit his skull, it straightened them.
Oh, my Lord.
Like they dug in, but I'd swung so hard that it straightened the hooks and came out of his head. 3 hooks off of 2 trebles buried in the side of his skull. What happened was, I was back in my part of the boat where I was supposed to be. And if he had been in his part of the boat where he was supposed to be, I'd have never hit him. You laugh like a damn rug. You laughed the whole time. But he had went to change lures and gotten in down to get to his tackle box. So he was in the middle of the boat, and I didn't know it. And I sidearmed it and hit him. And when my lure landed right in front of him in the water, I knew something was wrong. And I just hear this noise. It was Meathead. He went, ah! And I turned and looked, dude. And I'm talking about, he is literally pouring blood down the side of his head. And he was like, is it bad? And I was like, no, man. No, you're all right. Let's go back to fishing. So he used to wear this, when he fished, he wore this green boonie hat, like the Navy SEALs used to wear. And I remember during the day, I'd look over, that hat had turned brown because the blood had soaked into that green hat and turned it brown. He had blood running down his neck. When we get back to the boat docks, like 6 hours, like we fished for 6 hours with him like that. So we get back to the boat docks, loading the boat up. He keeps going, man, what's wrong with me, dude? He's like, I'm getting kind of dizzy. I ain't got no strength. I was like, man, you thought it go mercy.
You done lost half your blood.
Yeah.
Poor Meathead, man.
But, I wanted him to get some medical attention, but I didn't want to ruin our fishing trip.
Well, no. He could have waited. He waited. He's still alive. He's still with us today, so it worked out.
He's still with us somehow. I have no idea how.
I bet you didn't fish with that crankbait no more, did you?
I ruined it. No, he took it. He grabbed my line and pulled it up and cut it. He got it hanging on a little plaque. Just to remind him of what I did to it.
Oh, it's a wonder he survived your ass, man. You
it's
are
a wonder
the
he has
riffraff.
anything to do with me is what's a wonder. Because I can't think of any negative situations Meathead's ever put me in. Yeah, Meathead banned me from the boat, wouldn't take me fishing no more. You know, I fixed it. After about 6 months of that shit, he wouldn't take me fishing. I called Pawpaw whining about it. So Pawpaw, Meathead won't take me fishing no more. And Pawpaw got on to him, made him let me start going again.
Well, damn, I'm surprised he wasn't happy about it because you're the riffraff.
Yeah. Oh, he loved me. I used to go by there I'd be out all weekend long, dude, drinking, chasing questionable women, and I don't know why on Sundays I'd think, I'm going to go by and see Pawpaw. I'd pull up at his yard. Meathead had done married, moved out. I'd pull up, walk inside, sit there and talk to JP for about 2 minutes. He had this recliner. Dude, it had to be from like the 50s. It wasn't nothing to look at. And it wasn't big. I think that's what got me about it. It was kind of small, so when I'd sit in it, it kind of hugged me. It was like getting a hug from your mama. I'd sit down in that thing, go talking to JP, and it wouldn't be 2 minutes. I'd pass out, from still half drunk. I'd pass out and sleep in that chair for 3 or 4 hours and wake up, and JP'd still be sitting there staring at me, grinning when I'd wake up, like it'd been sitting there the whole time, and I'd realize it'd been 3 or 4 hours.
What's up, budget guy? Good to see you, brother.
Whined like a little bitch to Pawpaw. Hey, Meathead kept that recliner forever till it just fell apart. I bet that thing was 60 years old. It was almost like velvety feeling. I don't know, man. It was, it was like a piece of warm apple pie and a glass of milk and a hug from your mama all at the same time.
That's one hell of a chair.
It was the greatest chair ever. And it was one of the few recliners that when you fell asleep in, when you woke up, your shins didn't feel funny. Like most lazy boys, if I fall asleep in them, dude, I wake up with like my calves are asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one didn't do that. Yeah. Well, thank you, Lacey. I bet you did, man. There's a lot of memories had in that chair. There was a lot of alcohol dissipated from our systems sitting in that poor old chair.
You peed in the chair?
No, just the alcohol just goes away sooner or later.
Oh, okay. Apparently he peed in it, Dopey.
I didn't pee in the chair. Like I said, it was like 60 years old. It wasn't pretty the first time I saw it. It only got worse.
Because you peed in it.
It had like that crushed velvet stuff. So, and after a while it would get flattened and yeah.
Yeah. The pee will do that.
I never peed in the chair. I firmly believe JP would have banned me from the house like Meathead banned me from the boat.
Meathead busted you out, dude.
Oh damn. Yeah. Yeah, John, you got to come down one weekend with Meathead has a garage party. Hang out with us. Get to meet this bunch of folks.
That would be a blast.
I mean, we ain't what we used to be, but we like to stand around and talk about how good outlaws we once were. Meathead's still a little bit of an outlaw.
Is he?
Still a little bit.
If we're telling the truth, he's a little bit wild.
Yeah, just a little bit. He just had Popo where he lives don't like him much.
Does he get profiled? Is that what you're saying?
He definitely gets profiled. They tried to put him in jail for walking down the road one night.
Oh my Lord.
Maybe speak for yourself. It's not getting started good. Yeah, you outlasted me, buddy. We was hell off the starting line, but I have definitely slowed down during this marathon. Yeah, I just got Ashley Budget Guy. I'm glad you said that. I just got my check Saturday evening, so I'm going to go do some shipping either tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah. Meathead was the perfect buddy though, dude. He was always down for anything, and he was tough as a fucking pine knot. You couldn't break him. I remember back in the day when we had buggies, we were going to go ride the JFK trail. I don't know if you probably still find it on the internet. JFK, it was a legit thing. It was a federal government owned trail. It's supposed to be a hiking trail. It started at Nakalula Falls and would apparently take you. They were trying to turn it into like the Appalachian Trail. But we rode dune buggies on it at night because it was illegal. And,
that's why you did it?
Yeah.
You did it because it was illegal?
No, we just did. We rode everywhere we rode just about was illegal. That's why we rode at night. But we got up there one night, and I brought some marijuana. Now, at the time, guys, none of us were pot smokers, and I just acquired this marijuana. So I thought, man, we're gonna have us a good old time. We're gonna get up to JFK. We stopped that first overlook because there's like these scenic overlooks. You're on the very top ridge of the mountain. And so we get that first overlook. We're gonna fire up this marijuana and have us a good night. Well, I get up there, dude. Nobody wanted any. I was like, what do y'all mean y'all don't want any? I was like, no, man, we don't want any of that. So I just smoked it all by myself. Horrible decision. Because I was so zoned in, dude. I just acquired this marijuana. The tires on the back of my dune buggy were what we call chevrons. It's like what you see on a backhoe. Those tires just got the
tractor tires.
Yeah, tractor tires. What I had on the back of it. And I could literally hear every time the lugs of those things hit the dirt. Like as I'm rolling down the trail, I can hear. I've never been able to hear it before, and I could hear it. And I kept asking Mickey, I'm like, I got a flat tire. And after about the 50th time, he's like, fuck no, you ain't got a flat tire. Quit asking me. And I remember thinking, dude, we've been out here for like at least 20 hours. It's been like an hour and a half. And I didn't think we were ever going to get done. And then come to find out it's because I was literally barely going fast enough to keep the engine running. Like I was just at an idle, just creeping down this trail with everybody behind me because I was so high. I was paranoid. Thinking I was going too fast. I'm like, I'm going to wreck. I'm going too fast. God, I've never been so happy to get out of the woods, dude. We finally got out of there and got home. It felt like I'd spent 3 days of my life out there.
Yeah, the old weed can slow time down a little bit.
Yeah. And keep in mind, guys, I hadn't smoked weed in years when I acquired this marijuana. So, and then I smoked it all. It was probably a couple of joints worth, and I smoked it all by myself because nobody would smoke with me. So it was I was about as high as the fudge round night on Said Stevie. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
I had edible one night before Said Stevie, and that same day had purchased a whole box of the Little Debbie fudge rounds. So I'm laying there watching Said Stevie, and I look down around me, and there's 8 empty wrappers in a box of them. I'd eaten a whole box of fudge rounds and was begging everybody on the live to go get me a glass of milk because I said,
Hey, fudge rounds are good now.
Yeah, they spent the whole live stream making fun of me.
Is this true?
That is true. God, I can't believe you remembered that. Yeah, well, come to find out what it was never sinuses. I struggled with them every weekend. It was cigarettes. Every time we'd go ride, I thought it was the pollen, from being outdoors. I'd get really bad sinus. Dude, I'm talking about, I'd be at home later that night in the fetal position, crying on the floor. I'd hurt so bad. It was like somebody was driving a spike through my skull. Well, I fought it for years, and I did try the marijuana to see if that would help, and it didn't. But come to find out, when I quit smoking, I never had another one. It was cigarette smoke that was causing it.
Well, did you only smoke on the weekends or something?
No, but when I was on the weekends, I was in large groups of people and everybody smoked.
Oh, I gotcha.
Really, it was probably more secondhand smoke that was causing it than anything. Like, I could go to the bar on Friday night. I was literally handicapped all day on Saturday. I was in so much pain. I'd eat a handful of Sudafed and a handful of Excedrin and sit under a hot shower trying to make it. That was the only relief I could get. As soon as I'd get out, it'd come right back.
Did you put cucumber slices on your eyes?
No, I never tried that.
That probably would have.
I've been in the emergency room for it a couple of times. It was so bad. I mean, it was crippling. But the reason why I know it was secondhand smoke is because I went to a bar a couple of years after I quit smoking. I was in there all night when you could still smoke in the bar, and I had a headache the next day. So yeah, I can't believe he remembered that. I was fighting off a sinus infection. Have we told the story behind why we call it Meathead?
I don't believe so.
So when I first met Meathead's name's Scott. When I first met Scott, they had already nicknamed him Buddha because we were out in the woods one night and he was sitting there Indian style. He was sitting in the dirt with his legs crossed from that bald head. He looked like a Buddha statue. So we'd been calling him Buddha for 2 years. Well, we had this huge party planned. I'm talking about 100 people, tons of alcohol, huge cookout. It's going to be a big deal. And Meathead, or Buddha, was mad because he found out he had to work that night. He didn't get off till it was New Year's Eve. So it was right at New Year's or right at midnight before he got off. So I get to the party and I told myself I was going to pace myself because I didn't want to get too fucked up before my boy got there. And, but I failed miserably at that. I got hammered drunk within an hour. And Meathead's wife come over to, I shouldn't be calling him Meathead because he wasn't Meathead yet. Buddha's wife come over to me. She's like, Shane, there's been an accident. What do you mean there's been an accident? She's like, they dropped a steel plate from the roof of the building that Scott works at, 30 feet, 660-pound plate, and it hit him in the head. Well, when the crane operator realized what he had done, when they ran up, they thought he had decapitated him because when they found him, his jacket was pulled up over his head. There was just this big puddle of blood. So it looked like he didn't have a head. But he did.
My God.
So they took him to the emergency room, and he showed up to the party later that night. And everybody kept coming up to me because they knew how rough we were together. They kept coming to me like, look, Shane, when Buddha gets here, you can't be roughhousing with him, man. He's hurt. You can't be hitting him. And I was like, oh, I ain't going to hit him. That's my boy. I ain't going to be rough with him. Well, he shows up, and dude, they put what looks like about 4 maxi pads on top of each other in a straight line, forming this huge white maxi pad mohawk, and then taped it down the sides. It's the most fucking ridiculous looking thing I've ever seen. So when he walks in and I see it, the first thing I got to do, dude, I can't help myself. I just walk up and fucking slap him as hard as I can, just right in the top of his head.
Oh my god, dude!
Of course, everybody gets mad at me. People wanting to whoop me for hitting him or whatever, but he knew it was coming. He had to know. Yeah, I didn't make the door 5 minutes, then pow right in the head. So that time I did feel a little bad because I was too intoxicated to make a decent decision. But anyway, getting to where he got his nickname. A couple weeks later, we were all at the rehab. That's what we called this house that Meathead, his girlfriend, and her brother and his girlfriend all kind of stayed at. It was like our central. During the week, that's where we all went to drink, and that's where
that was your clubhouse.
Yeah, and we had a shop to work on our dune buggies, so the guys were always out in the shop, the women were in the house. Come about 9 o'clock, we'd all gather back up, eat, and start drinking beer. Well, not start drinking beer, continue drinking beer. And so anyway, Meathead is sitting at the dining room table with this other buddy of ours called Darren, and Meathead's got this huge scab that looks like a strip of bacon running down the top of his head. And I don't remember, he can chime in and say, I don't know if it was annoying, if it was itching, what the issue was. But he just reaches up and grabs this thing and peels it all off in one piece and then throws it across the room and rings the trash can with it. And Darren looked at him and went, huh, oh, Meathead. And he's been Meathead ever since.
God, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, in all fairness, was what led to the pain pills because it also crushed the vertebrae in his neck. So he was in a great deal of pain. Me hitting him in it probably didn't help. But he was in a great deal of pain for several years. So he was on a pain management regimen. They finally fused the vertebrae in his neck or whatever. I guess he's doing a lot better now. He don't whine about it like a bitch anymore anyway.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Rub some dirt on it.
After that, his wife came to him. He's like, Shane, I talked to his doctor, and he agrees you can't hit him anymore. And I was thinking to myself, damn, what am I going to do with Meathead if I can't hit him anymore?
I love how you threw that at. Well, it probably didn't help that I hit him.
Yeah. I left it. What are we talking about? I left a finger in a glove behind his family portrait in that 3-story house. My old house. What do you mean you left a finger in a glove?
What the
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Meathead.
Shit just got.
But I didn't hit him but one more time after that. After the doctor said that I didn't need to do it anymore, I was highly intoxicated again. And then I, honest to God, I fought it that night. People were begging me to do it, and I was like, I'm not hitting him no more. You know, I mean, he's just, you know, the doctor said he can't take it. He don't need to be punched in the head anymore.
Who does need to be punched in the head?
Two fists of liquor and a half case of beer later, when I cut that finger off at that time, left half my finger on the mantle at my old house. You left your decapitated finger in my old house.
In a glove.
I ain't shocked. I ain't shocked at all. Yeah, I knocked him out that night. I hit him way too hard.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I had a gauge of how hard I could hit him to make it make that sound and not actually hurt him. But I was too drunk to gauge it that night. Hit him a little too hard.
Wait, what sound?
When I punched Meathead in the forehead, it sounded like. You remember when Stone Cold would come to the ring?
Uh-huh.
That crashing glass?
Uh-huh.
That's what it sounded like. And that's why people would get me to hit him. People would hear about this sound, well, I want to hear it. So I just punched him in the forehead so they could hear it.
Why'd it sound like that?
I don't know. But it did. It sounded like glass crashing from the ceiling, hitting the floor. It was crazy. Judy's my mama, by the way. Boy, she sure loves to see you, Meathead. She ain't in great shape. She barely get out of the bed. She loved Meathead, though. She didn't like a whole lot of my friends, but she loved Meathead.
That's what I'm asking, Pat. Why the hell did it sound like busting glass when you punched
I
me
don't
in the
know.
head?
I don't know if his forehead's in pieces or. Yeah, they, it was never by choice. It was always because people would want to hear it. But most of the time, he was up for it. He'd be like, yeah, do it. He'd bend down. Let me get a good aim and crack him. But that night, that ain't how it happened. I was very, very drunk. I kept telling everybody no. Finally, when they taught me into it, I went, "Hey, Meathead!" And when he turned to look at me, I just sucker punched him, cracked him.
And knocked his ass out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he only lost consciousness for a second. His knees went out from under him. He went to go to the ground. A buddy of ours caught him and stood him back up. But yeah, that all led to that. That was the same night that I threw up in his Yukon, and he nearly drowned me. Yeah, first I had was a hillbilly golf club. But I got hit by the hillbilly golf club first. Sure did.
What's a hillbilly golf club, Shane?
It's just a pine stick with a lock shoved into a log.
Oh.
That you buy up in Gatlinburg, hillbilly golf club. Yeah. I've told that story before. That was also the same night, the same day he pulled up in my driveway. He told me about a party that was happening that night. So we get there, and we both already know this guy. But like I said, me and Meathead barely knew each other. And David, the guy that was throwing the party, wanted me to tell the story of the night I knocked this guy out coming back from Walmart. And I didn't want to tell the story because I didn't want it to sound like I was bragging about being a badass or nothing. I didn't want to tell the story. But he kept on and made me tell the story. So I told it. And as soon as I was done telling the story, this Meathead character, or actually it was Buddha at the time. No, actually he didn't even have a nickname at the time. He was just Scott. Looks me right in the eye and says, "You can't knock me down, big boy." And I was like, "Okay." And he just kept on. He was like, "I'm telling you, you can't knock me down." I'm like, "Okay." And then he starts laying in going, "Go on, give it your best shot. Give it your best shot." So, 4 or 5 beers later, I finally thought, well, fuck it. I'm just going to hit him. So I did. But we were sitting down at a table, a dining room table. And when I hit him, he flew back, but his knees hit the table, which sat him right back up. And he immediately went to laughing, saying, "Ha, I told you couldn't knock me down, big boy." What I didn't know was that he had planned this with another one of our friends that we called Hitler. Hitler was on the other side of me, and after I hit Scott, and Scott sat back up, Hitler swung that hillbilly golf club and hit me in the forehead with it, and nearly knocked me out. So, I kind of owed him after that. So I talked to I went and got my little buddy Jeremy. We called him Smooch. He was like 5'9", 150 pounds, considerably younger than all of us. He probably was 17 years old at the time. And I was like, "Hey, Smooch," I said, "as soon as that fucker stands up, I want you to go over and get behind him, get down on your hands and knees." So, all right, I got you. It's probably an hour we waited on Meathead to stand up to go to the bathroom. Finally, he stands up, stretches, and as soon as he does, Smooch gets behind him down on his hands and knees, and I just walk up and just chest flick him. And when he stumbles back, the back of his knees hits Smooch, so he falls flat onto his back. Part I didn't tell Smooch was I backed up about 4 steps, got a run and go, stepped onto Smooch's spine while he's still on his hands and knees, went airborne, and landed a damn Randy Macho Man Savage elbow right me his chest and knocked all the wind out of him. And then we get a call the next day from David telling us that we owe him $800.
For what?
For the repairs on his kitchen floor. We broke 3 floor joists in his kitchen.
Dear God.
Yeah, the cabinet separated from the wall. Yeah. Never did pay that fucker either. Probably is why Smooch has a back. I wouldn't know, though. I ain't talked to Smooch in years.
What's up, Brother Joe? Lancelot Leather up in here.
Yeah, he is. We kind of turned this into the Meathead live stream, haven't we?
We're talking about Meathead and knives. We talked a lot about knives. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
I ain't even supposed to be doing that.
I like the shit out of these little knives.
Oh yeah, those are cool shit. Did you get them on Amazon?
Shang Jangs that Forrest sends out with his Hanks.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Oh
uses
yeah.
cut cloth because I get one or two of them in every package. But these are awesome at opening dip cans. Because I told y'all that's my main use for a knife. I talk all this shit about heat treat, edge geometry, and all that stuff.
So basically, what you're saying is essentially that's the only knife you'd ever need.
In all actuality, what I actually use my knives for, mostly, is just cutting that paper gasket on my dip can because I'm OCD, and if the paper's all rolled up and fucked up, I have to put it in a different can. I can't roll like that. Meathead's one got me dipping too. I ain't never hit him with a metal cherry, Joe. I would if he's up for it. Yeah, we did. We broke the whole damn kitchen. That was beginning to a beautiful friendship. Like I said, we was damn near inseparable from that point forward.
What, after you knocked him out?
After
that
first night we met.
After you bounded off dude's spine and threw an elbow in him. I gotcha.
I did hit him with a piece of plywood once. I forgot about that.
Like a whole sheet?
It wasn't a whole sheet. I love hitting him with shit. But anyway, I rolled up to his house. This was years later. And some of these kids that used to hang out around the shop when we would be building dune buggies, there was a bunch of neighborhood kids that would hang out. They were just amazed at this shit we were building. And by this point, they'd all grown up. They're all, late teens, early 20s. And I pull up. They're all once again, they're all out there in Meathead's yard. And I pull up and get out of my truck. And I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, we're finna tear this building down. He had this old hardwood plank clapboard style, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just planks of wood.
Yeah.
Damn well-built building in his backyard, but, it was getting kind of old and ratty looking. So he decided he was going to do away with it. We are going to tear it down. Well, dude, we had all kinds of tools to accomplish this. Matter of fact, every year for Christmas, for a long time, every year I bought Meathead a tool of destruction, literally like demo style tools, for tearing shit up, because that's what we did. But what we decided on was a bowling ball. So me and Meathead and I think four younger guys all took turns throwing this bowling ball at this building till literally it was flat on the ground. It was a pile of lumber. And I've never been this sore in my entire life. I woke up the next day, dude. I couldn't even move. You ever tried to one hand hurl a bowling ball?
Yeah, it ain't easy.
Try doing it 100 times one day till the building comes down. Then, of course, you're constantly jumping back because the ball bounces back, tries to hit you. But yeah, we tore a whole building down with a bowling ball right there in his backyard.
Did y'all ever do anything normal?
No.
Okay,
Nothing.
I didn't get
Meathead's damn near 50 years old, and I'm 52, so he's getting close to 50. When I went to his house this past New Year's, like 4 o'clock in the morning, we leave the shop, headed back to his house. Both of us highly intoxicated. And he's driving a F-150 Harley edition with a supercharger. And I bet we stopped in the middle of the road at least 8 times to see how good a burnout it could do. This is in city limits. I mean, this is in town. We're drunk as shit doing burnouts in the middle of Glencoe. I remember at one point thinking, how the fuck have we not ever gone to jail together? It just makes no sense that we've not been arrested at some point in time. Been fortunate, I guess.
Which brings the question: have you ever been arrested? Period.
I've been arrested in California,
Okay.
but not here. We've ran from the law several times.
And got away.
Yeah.
Look at there, old Vince.
Well, look at that. Like if you lie now, that child's the devil. One of my favorite ones, we were coming out of the woods one night. We got to ride this particular area of the woods. If you look on Google Maps and find Nakalula Falls in Gadsden, Alabama, it's a 100-foot waterfall, but the gorge beneath it made for some pretty cool riding trails in dune buggies. But we've rode in everything: dune buggies, rock crawlers, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, everything. But this particular time we were in dune buggies, and we rode it pretty much trouble-free for years. Well, then the city decided to crack down and run us off. They're going to get rid of them damn dune buggy people, because what we didn't know was they were going to develop it and turn it into some nice city-owned walking trails. So the cops got on us pretty hot and heavy, dude. They were waiting on us when we come out of the woods at night. They knew. I mean, you could see it. You know, trails just coming out of the woods onto the road. So they would patrol those areas waiting on us. And I come out of the woods one night. Meathead was behind me, and I'm coming down this hill. And keep in mind, these vehicles are not street legal. They're literally just a pile of inch and 5/8 drawn over mandrel steel pipe that is welded to the rear suspension and engine of a Volkswagen Beetle. And it's amazing what you can make those things do, what they're capable of. But anyway, so they're not street legal to begin with. And I've got a set of lights on mine, these Pias, that wouldn't be street legal on any vehicle because they're so bright. So as I'm coming down this hill, dude, my 1,000-watt Pia lights hit this cop right in the face, right through his windshield. So I just knew, there's no doubt this dude's going to come after us. Well, he's going the opposite direction. So when I get to the bottom of the hill and stop, I immediately turn to look back to see if the cop has turned around. And in all honesty, I'd kind of forgotten Meathead was behind me. Well, as soon as I turn, I don't even get fully turned around. When I look to my left, I'm looking Meathead right in the eye, because he's coming around me sideways. He's sliding sideways, passing me, dead on the throttle, wide open in it, sideways, drifting past me, because the cop had turned his lights on and turned around. So he gets ahead of me. We're running down the road as fast as these things will go. And I don't know how fast they go because they don't weigh anything. So even with just a 100-horse motor, they're very, very quick. And I remember we were coming up on the train tracks, and I remember thinking, I wonder if Meathead's going to slow down from the train tracks. But I should have known better than that. He didn't. And I could see the entire undercarriage of that buggy as he's flying through the air. So I never checked up either. I hit him wide open. We're both airborne off those train tracks and land. The only cool thing I really remember my ex-wife ever doing, we're fucking jamming gears and raising hell, running from the law. And when we get to my house, she's standing there with the back gates open. We hit the turning brakes. If you don't know what that is, it's a hydraulic brake that you can lock up either the left or right side wheels. Ken Block used them a lot. That's how he made those cars spin around like that. So we lock up the turn brakes, slide sideways in there, shoot in behind the house, and as soon as I pull in behind Meathead, she's shutting the gates. We run around the house, jump up on the front porch, sit in the chairs, and wave at the cops as they ride by. Yeah, that's the coolest thing she ever did. Not she had the gate open for us. She knew the popo was after us.
She have a glasses of sweet tea ready for you?
Yeah, I'm sure she's drunk as shit. Of course, back then we were all drunk as shit. Always. Rarely ever wasn't drunk. Yeah, we had some good times. That was the end of it. We tried leasing property. We tried everything to keep that whole vibe going, dude. But that was it. that 10 years of fun was over.
That was the last hurrah.
Yeah, no doubt she was hammered drunk. She wasn't even a drunk till she met Meathead's girlfriend. Had never drank in her life. Started hanging out with Meathead's old lady, turned into a fucking alcoholic. But it is what it is. I've never tried a Kubi Nova, Lacey. I haven't tried enough Kubis, really. Every one I've handled, I felt like was a, was a really good bargain for what you pay for it.
Yeah, they make some good knives for the price, for sure. Them and Migron do pretty good deal.
Meathead went to the trade show with me the first time I went. He purchased him a couple of CJRBs and beat them till they weren't worth having anymore. And purchased his third CJRB. And this last time he messaged me wanting a $50 knife. I sent him. I pointed him in the direction of the Migron Bologna because he wanted something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
How's that Migron holding up, Meathead? Hey, Meathead's the perfect guy to review a knife because he don't know shit about knives. He don't want to know shit about knives. He just fucking abuses them. So if it's a good knife, he can tell you if it's a good knife or not.
Shane looks like Vince bought 5 memberships. We can't. That doesn't show up in the StreamYard.
No, I've even seen people like read off who all won them and all that stuff.
Yeah, it only shows up in the YouTube chat.
You've already messed the blade up on it. What did you do? Jump a starter with it?
Oh, Merkin.
I actually said somebody on a podcast recently talking about. Y'all know they make wigs for vaginas. I wanted to comment and say, that's a Merkin, just so you know. Jump the solenoid. I knew it. 12 volts will destroy a knife, Meathead. Well, when you're ready for your next one, I'm sure I've got some good suggestions for you. Because there's been plenty of stuff come out even since then that's really good stuff.
Get him a hinderer.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea. I give my son-in-law one, and he abuses his. It's not the Joker. It was just the old Desert Tan. Desert Warrior style. I've sharpened it twice in 2 years. And like all the coating has come off the blade. Nearly all the coatings come off the handle. He'll just leave it laying on the fender of his tractor for a couple weeks at a time. And it still hasn't rusted. It still hasn't broke. Still fires great. It sharpens right back up. So, yeah, Meathead would probably do just fine with a Boker Kalashnikov. Yeah, Meathead's biggest issue is he breaks clips off of them all the time. He snags the clips and snaps them off. He'd probably do good with a wire clip Spyderco, wouldn't he?
Probably would. Does it get caught on seatbelts and shit?
I ain't never told me what they get caught on. The first Spyderco I ever held in my hand belonged to Meathead, but he won't buy one now. Too big a tightwad to buy a $150 knife. Oh, you like this one? Anybody know what these cost? Whoa, my finger hit it. My bad. I don't even know what these cost. Do y'all know?
I don't either.
I mean, I'm sure it's at least that $85 cost.
Yeah.
I thought somebody told me it was just over $100.
He said CJRB clips just fall off.
They were good to him, though. They made him a whole bag of them. He messaged them. They just mailed him some new clips. $80, G-Ball? That sounds right. It's worth every penny of $80. And I know you can't tell on screen, Meathead, but that's way more heavy duty than that Bologna. That's not bad mouthing the Bologna. This is just thicker and heavier. Yeah. I think you'd enjoy that.
What's that one called, Shane?
It's the Kaiser Mini Paragon,
Oh, okay.
but they're coming. Like I said, they're coming out with the XL. The only downfall to this knife, and it's not a downfall to me because I'm not that picky, but I'm sure people hate that clip. It's just very afterthoughtish, like they rummaged through a stack of clips and said, "Hey, this one will fit."
Yeah, it did, but I like those wider,
Yeah,
just stamped clips.
right.
They work pretty well.
I was trying to think if I had a knife for you, Meathead, some future. He's got a dang Cold Steel Code 4 Tanto that he won't carry. He said it's too heavy. I don't think that knife's all that heavy. I should
No, I
talk
like
about
the Code 4. That's the one. I think that's the one I had where the damn back spring broke.
Yeah, I've never heard of that from anybody. A back spring breaking on a Code 4. I even Googled it to see if people had complained about it.
Yeah.
Yours was just.
It was just a freak of nature. And then they tell me that's normal wear and tear.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't want to beat it up, Meathead, let me know. I probably got something for you. I got something that would probably do really well for you, actually. It's about that same size, pretty tough knife. It ain't nothing high end.
What you got? Or is it a surprise?
Not any surprise. Let me go get it. That way I can just show it to Meathead, see if he's even interested.
I think you're just coming up with excuses to get up so you can show us your drawers.
I got on shorts.
Do you?
Yeah, they're like those. They remind me of like cut off jogging pants, but they sell them this way. They're very comfortable.
You get them at the Dollar General?
No, when my daughter had to take me to the emergency room that time, I thought I was dying. I was bleeding everywhere. I had ran out of underwear and ran out of money to buy more underwear. And she brought me these to put on to go to the hospital in. How about this, Meathead?
Damn old Vince. He bought 5 more memberships.
That's a Emerson collaboration with Kershaw, but it's a steel frame lock, so it ought to be plenty stout enough for you. I'd like for you to carry it for a little while anyway, just to see how it holds up. I can do a video about it. But if you like it, you're more than welcome to it. You know that.
Dude, I'll tell you, I like those Kershaw. I like those Kershaw Emersons.
Yeah, this is my second one. I won this from Billy at Apex Alchemy.
Yeah, Blade Show is what, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of June?
Yeah. Yep. You gonna go with us, Meathead? It ain't like, I don't know, $30 or something. Cause I'm gonna get there. I'm probably gonna get there like Thursday night. But yeah, if you wanna come Friday or Saturday, dude, you ought to drive up here and hang out with us. You might even find a knife you really like. If you can't find one there, you can't find one. That's for sure.
No, Todd, I did not, because they won't fix it. What'd they do? They gave me a 30% discount code on another Cold Steel if I buy it from Cold Steel. I can't go.
Which means MSRP.
Yeah.
Which means more.
So basically, it'll end up costing me more than it would if I bought it from Amazon or Knife Center or some crap. Yeah, because it was normal wear and tear.
What's Lacey saying? She said something about the holy shit at Emerson that the edge doesn't taper from steep as hell to shallow as hell to tip. Oh, why? Because it's a Kershaw.
Damn, Meathead said he's going to be in Atlanta that Friday night.
That'll work. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's first weekend in June. Just right. Yeah, just a month away. Yes, if that jackass tells you to tell me to come to work, I can't be there June 3rd, 4th, 5th. The only thing I can really think I want to buy at Blade Show with Vince's money, by the way, y'all don't forget, it's with Vince's money. Thank you, Vince. I love you, brother. Is I really want to pick up. Nobody's really talking about it much yet, but me. But I want to pick up another Model 1, but he's making the Model 1 in a Warncliffe as well. Now, guys, it does not look like just like the Model 2 either. As you can see, there's a completely different handle shape, and the Warncliffe Model 1 has more of a taper to the drop-off. So it's, I guess you could say it's a little more stabby looking than the Model 2. It's not as penguin looking as the Model 2. I'll put it that way. So that I know I'm going to pick up. The rest of it I may just spend on going out to eat with some of my homies while I'm there. John, you stay out of my Kool-Aid. Yeah, I think to be honest with you, I'd almost like to go to that. I hate to admit it, but I have become a Morgan Wallen fan. Throw up them Americans, Cheeto. I think Vince and Meathead would be a lot of fun to hang out with together. I think Vince and Meathead would make pretty good buddies right off the bat. They kind of, well, y'all don't know Meathead as well as I do, but their personalities kind of remind me of one another. I mean, I'm not sure Meathead's ever been around a Puerto Rican before. You're 100% right, Kyle. Come to think of it. Yeah. Lacey chew us up and spit us out before dinner time on Thursday.
No, that's Super Still Steve Meathead.
Yeah, that's Super Still Steve.
He's the loud guy that hollers all the time.
Hey, Super Still Steve made a post today letting y'all know what table he's going to be at in case y'all want to come by and talk shit.
Oh, he's going to be actually have a table with his knives at Blade Show?
He's walking around. He's got a table for Steve Clarey Customs.
That's what's up.
He's doing really well with that. You know, from the part of the community that don't hate the way he talks. The man does have a true gift and a passion for cutlery, though. I'll give him that. He's just very opinionated and loud about it. I did some food prep tonight. Used my at this point, honest to God, I do not own a single kitchen knife. Not one. We don't have a single piece of kitchen cutlery in this house. I don't know what happened to them, but they were junk anyway. But I cut up a bunch of meat tonight with my Hogue Ritter fixed blade. That's 45 VN. Man, it was sweet. I actually used a cutting board for that one. Yeah, it did a really, really good job.
Well, you normally just cut right on the counter?
When I use my Rat 1, I do.
Okay.
I just want to see how much it damages it. And I will admit, it's still sharp. Don't get me wrong, it still cuts fine. But right in the belly, right in the curve where I drag it across the ceramic a lot, it's lost its bite. I mean, it would still cut. It would still cut meat fine. It'd probably snag paper. But I was really impressed with how much I got to use it before that happened. You know, it once again convinced me there's absolutely nothing wrong with Allstate steel. And the worst I've ever cut myself in the history of owning knives was this exact knife. This is the second one I've owned. I cut myself bad on this chunk of HCR. I was putting it in a Lansky system. I was holding it. I can't show you how I was doing it, but trying to tighten it down because it kept coming loose in the clamp. And I just pushed that belly all the way into the bone of my finger. I didn't slice it. I just put and never felt it. Never felt a thing. Just started pouring blood.
I had the privilege of hanging out with old Sobek Scooter about a year ago, I guess. He came and hung out in South Carolina. We went to the burger bar and flirted with the little waitress we had.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time. Are you planning on coming to Blade Show, Scoot? Because that would be rad.
I don't know if I like you having control of my StreamYard now. I just noticed that you changed the banner again.
Oh, you just now noticed that?
It's weird how that thing can run by and you never see it. It makes you wonder how effective they are. I mean, I finally saw it, but now a bunch of guys smoke him out and don't carry Kubi. It takes them a little while before they catch on and start carrying some of those Chinese brands. Kubi's mostly originally it was a Amazon AliExpress only. You should go back and look at some of the old Kubi stuff, dude. Kubi was one of the worst companies out there. They made shit knives and clones, and
yeah, they were right up there with Effengrau.
They were, in my opinion, they were worse.
Yeah,
because at least Effengrau's clones worked well.
Yeah,
and they were probably lying to you about the steel, but they worked well.
Now that damn Strider clone I had was a good knife.
Have I ever showed you my Strider clone?
I don't think so.
I don't talk about it much. I don't people give me shit, but I didn't buy this knife.
You gonna get up and go get it?
Yeah, this knife was gifted to me, and I've held on to it just because every now and then I look at it to remind myself of how well we taught them to copy our shit. Why don't you look at this flame anode titanium?
Yeah, that's the exact one I had, except mine, the show side was carbon fiber.
And the clip, it doesn't say Strider anywhere on it, but the clip does have, you can barely see it there. Is that Microtex? I don't know what that dagger, if that's Strider's emblem. It's got an emblem on the clip. But in true Chinese fashion, as nice as the knife that they made, and the detent's heavy as hell, but unfailable action. Look at that blade, man. Maybe 3CR for all I know. But
was advertised as D2, right?
Not what I was told. I'll tell you the story about this in a moment. Good action, but in true Chinese fashion, they put a blue aluminum anodized backspacer on it.
And see, mine was orange G10.
It that just was the other different thing like about a damn sore thumb. But what I was told was this knife was actually $250. It is a Strider copy, and it's in S35. So it's supposed to be like a higher end clone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but God, it's loud when it opens because the detent's so heavy. Now, would I go to battle with this knife? Absolutely. I wouldn't think twice about it. But would I carry it every day and try to make somebody think I own a Strider? No, because I have owned this real knife. I don't know if I owned the Microtech version. But dude, even look how well they chamfered the finger choil.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. Look at that plunge. This knife is literally perfectly built. This is a nice knife. It's just.
I'm pretty sure it's hollow ground, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sharp as fuck. It was sharp when I got it. And to tell you how I know the guy didn't sharpen it, I got this from Red Wolf. He don't sharpen nothing.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, he just bragged about how nice, because he had a real one, and he'd set them side by side, and he'd tell you this was nicer. But yeah, he gave this to me when I bought a Olamic 24/7 from him, and he threw that in for free. And then I sold my Olamic because Richie made fun of it.
Who?
Richie.
Oh.
That's not really why I sold it. It really wasn't at all what I wanted it to be. It was a damn nice knife. I don't feel like it was worth $600, but it just, for that design, it should be a 4-inch blade. That should be a bigger knife for that. I mean, that's like I don't understand why they would make a smaller version of this. This needs to be, this style, this shape needs to be a big knife. I don't understand it being smaller.
Yeah, I mean that's a clone of the DOC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Marfione branded.
Yeah.
That's what
Is that
the dag.
Marfione's
Yeah, what the
emblem
dagger
though?
is.
That sword,
Yeah.
that dagger, or whatever. Wish I could get it to show up better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, man, they did a hell of a job. It's a damn nice knife. Like I said, could be 3CR, but if I were to ever take that knife with the intentions of using it for what it was made for, I'm probably going to stab it into somebody a few times and leave it there anyway. What do I care?
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
what you're gonna do.
I mean, that's what it was designed for. You know, they never intended on that being an EDC knife or cutting cardboard. It was made to end a motherfucker.
Yeah, the DOC was a Strider Marfione collab, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I had the Microtech version, and yeah, y'all all Shane loves clowns. Fuck you, John.
What's up, ATK?
Y'all remember that horror story? Do you remember how freaked out I was, John?
Yeah.
I
You
threw
called me
up.
freaked out about it.
I threw up. It messed me up so bad that it made me so sick I threw up. I've never been that embarrassed, and there was nobody to be embarrassed to. You know what I mean?
No.
It was just an email. They didn't know me.
I wonder how many people have actually sent.
Oh, several. I asked them. Yeah, they was like, "This is not the first time this has happened." And I was like, "But you don't understand. I didn't send it to you because I thought it was the real. I just sent the wrong knife."
Yeah, I knew it was a clone. I knew I had a clone.
Yeah. Well, I knew I had a real one and I had a clone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that clone. It was a different clone. It was bad, but yeah. That was the same day I flushed that medicine down the toilet. That I don't remember what the name of that stuff was.
That was the stuff that had you whacked out.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was contemplating killing myself, and I've never had anything mess with my brain, like seeing shit. And
What was the medicine for?
it was a discontinued antidepressant. They don't even prescribe it for depression anymore, but they thought it might work for my neuropathy. I took it about 4 days, and it was the worst experience I've ever had. And when I called them and told them how I was feeling, that nurse was like, "Take that bottle, take the phone with you so I can hear it. I want to hear you flush it down the toilet. Pour them in the toilet and flush it." I did. I held the phone right there, poured them in the toilet and flushed them. They put on my chart, my medical charts right now say that I have an antidepressant allergy.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen with me. Well, a little bit different, but with Zoloft, it made me feel like I was floating out of my body and gave me the worst shits I've ever had in my life.
It was mine was all mental, dude. Like I'd lay there and just when I did go to sleep, it was all demons and death and gore and dismemberment, and I literally I didn't want to be alive anymore. It was a horrible experience. I didn't know a medicine could even do that to you. Yeah, it was bad. Oh, Ian G.
Oh, Ian G. What up, Ian?
How good looking is Ian, man?
He's a pretty good looking fella.
It's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he drives a Tesla too.
Yeah. Yeah. I still absolutely love that knife he gave me too. It's just weird because every time I look at it, I think, man, this is the ugliest thing Spyco's ever made. That stretch with that, I don't know. It was like they set out to make. I thought it was right there. It was right there. I don't know where it went. It was like they set out to just make a standard drop point knife and then just added the hump.
Yeah.
But man, it works so good. I love that thing. And everybody that sees it asks me about the scales. Apparently, there weren't a whole lot of them made with the ZDP 189 and the carbon fiber scales, but they are nice. I just realized something. I was trying to wipe my phone with this my new Forest tank. Y'all see my video? I know y'all didn't. Get about 30 people watch it, but this microfiber is like don't know how to explain it, man. Like my phone sticks to it. Like you can barely drag it across it. But man, once you do, it takes everything off.
I wonder if that's the same, because the microfiber on this one is freaking rad. It looks almost like silk. It's kind of shiny, but dude, it'll take some stuff off, man.
Yeah, it cleans very well and it's soft, but it's weird. It like grabs it almost like leather or something.
Yeah, like suede.
For everybody but the 30 of you that watched the video, also got this mat from Forest with my emblem on it. Well, I can figure out how to use a camera. I kept having issues with light reflecting off of my surface when I try to do videos. So I thought I would try something cloth. So Forrest made this for me so I can lay it down and do my night videos on it. All very nice. Very nice stuff, Forrest. Good job.
Oh yeah, he does good work. It's quality. It's thick, man. The fabric's so thick and like sturdy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. In all honesty, I don't think I would want to use it as a hank, like to blow my nose.
Oh no,
no, it's definitely not that kind of hank. But I do like how it folds up to fit perfectly in your pocket. What it reminds me of, the material reminds me of like what they would make curtains out of, because it's kind of thick and heavy. As a matter of fact, my very first Forest hank, I'm pretty sure I've seen those curtains hanging in somebody's house. But it was like a paisley pattern. Very nice, but it's cool. If you've got a Forest hank from like when he first started 2-3 years ago to what he's making now, it's been a huge progression.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's doing some fancy stuff.
Are you, John? Are you reading this conversation going on in the chat? Because I'm not, but I keep seeing hints of it. I have no idea what they're talking about over here.
About making eye contact?
I don't know. Somebody's got Lacey laughing to the point she can't breathe.
Yeah, Maddie and Dopey are making eye contact at each other.
I try my damnedest to get Lacey short of breath sometimes, but maybe I'm going about it all wrong.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Maddie did it like that.
Maddie got that touch.
Yep, he's a stud muffin.
Yeah. I really thought my fucking squirt short was going to go viral. I really thought I came across one. I thought this is going to be my first short that hits 100,000.
It did not. Steph thought it was funny.
Huh?
Steph thought it was funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was pretty good too.
I thought maybe I just tagged it wrong, entitled it wrong, so I changed it up a little bit and posted it again, but
didn't do it. No. I like the fact that you made the sound effects squirt, squirt.
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna watch it right now, but Patina sent me a video, so I bet that's gonna be some good shit. Hoping it's from his adventure this weekend. Let's see how it did since we reposted it. Yeah, I got 2.6 thousand views on the first one and 118 on the second one. I want to take this moment again to apologize because not all of y'all saw that community post. You will see me post some shorts in duplicate. It doesn't really have anything to do with me trying to just grab a few more views. I'm changing some stuff up. Like I'll change the time of day that I post it because I found that I can post a short and it get like 150 views and then post it the exact same short the next day at a different time, or maybe change the title a little bit and it get a couple thousand views. So I'm toying with that. And I know it's probably annoying for you guys to see some of the same shorts multiple times, but feel free to not watch it the second time or whatever. I'm just, I'm not concerned about my subscribers seeing my shorts. I'm trying to figure out what makes people who aren't subscribed to me see my shorts.
Are you saying you don't care about your subscribers?
No, I'm saying my subscribers always give me about the same number of views, and I appreciate that. I'm just trying to figure out how to get people outside of that attention.
I gotcha. Who all is in the chat is going to Blade Show this year? I'd like to see if we got any people that are going to go. Besides Marty, I don't care if he goes.
Well, we already know Marty ain't going.
Ah.
He's afraid I'm going to kick the shit out of his kids. So. Ian don't want none of the guns, son. Ain't guns no more.
The BB guns.
Yeah.
Got you some pea shooters.
Thank you for the right. You hit me up on PayPal. I could DM you whatever it is you're looking for, buddy.
Hit him up on his OnlyFans.
You're gonna pay me first, because I don't want you wanting a refund when you're disappointed. What knife do you hate sharpening, Lacey? That's right, Zach. Why would they care? Or why would I care?
I mean, we see your shorts every live stream anyway.
Yeah. I legit, most of my shorts seem to be right around my subscriber count. It's just like my subscribers all see them. But, it's like anybody else. I'm trying to figure out how to get other people or new people to see them. But my most successful one was a 6-second short of me opening a Mannix lightweight. No music, no sound. I didn't say a word. I just click and hit stop. They got 31,000 views. And I posted it at like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I've tried to duplicate that, times, video length, with or without audio. I don't know. I just don't think there's a recipe to it. It either hits or it don't.
Maybe the key is you not talking.
Tried it both ways. Like I said, that one just happened to hit. I've had a couple others get up in the 25,000 range, but nothing huge. I think that's where Lacey's messing up. She's posting these booty pics on Instagram with her knife. If she could just get somebody to film that, I'm telling you, keep it at 5 seconds. Just turn record on with the exact same pose you ran, and for 5 seconds, and hit stop and post it as a YouTube short. I bet you'd be shocked at how fast your subscriber count skyrockets, Lacey. And I don't see no shame in it. If I had a pretty butt, I'd use my butt. But I do not. I do not have a butt at all. My butt literally is concave.
You look like a damn frog standing on its hind legs.
I do. No kidding. I always have. No matter how big I was, I've never been able to put any cheeks on. The Spyderco Captain. John, pull that up.
What's that?
Pull up the Spyderco Captain.
All right, hold on.
Lacey hates sharpening it. I want to see why.
Alrighty.
You're right. I got no butt at all.
You said Captain?
You got massive thighs. I used to be very, very strong in my legs. Just had oak tree thighs. But literally, it took, and within 3 weeks of having COVID, my legs shrunk by over half.
Oh, good God.
Put it up there.
I'm about to. Hold your damn horses.
Me and John going to get together sometime in the next week or so he can teach me a little bit of editing. I want to learn how to have a video playing and just myself up in the corner talking, but I don't want all the borders and everything. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lacey, how hard is this going to be to sharpen then? Because that's not far from it. I mean, this front edge is not quite as rounded. Might be a little easier. And the recurve isn't as severe, but.
That looks like you could cut some shit up, but damn, that's an ugly blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you imagine all the material you could trap right there past that secondary tip.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only part of the whole knife that needs to be sharp. Matter of fact, it might be better off if the rest of the recurve was dull, just to push the material over there. Kyle, don't be acting like people don't look at your IG, poor baby. Where's mine at? I was like 13 away from hitting 1,000. Is that a big deal to hit 1,000 on IG? I've seen people celebrate it, but I don't work my IG at all, guys. Jared Neves gotten on to me, told me it should just be knife content. If you make it random, people aren't going to look at it as much. I've got 991 followers right now. I just use my IG to post whatever I want. I ain't trying to make a business out of Instagram.
Yes, Kyle has an IG, and he sharpens knives.
Kyle, it's because you're an antisocial fucker. You're not very nice to people. I mean, other than me, you're very nice to me, and you're very nice to Lacey. But other than that, you're kind of a prick. Quit changing that. I don't like it when it's like that.
Keith Richards just jumped on stage with Willie. What the hell? You at a concert, Sharp Guy?
Dude, let me tell y'all what happened to me last weekend.
Does it have anything to do with Keith Richards or Willie Nelson?
Yes.
Oh,
I watched a Said Stevie Rambling from the Woods, or Rambling from the Road, one I can't remember. And I just woke up, so I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention anyway, and I wasn't very, very motivated. So I watched it, and when it went off, the YouTube algorithm instantly turned on the movie, The Dukes of Hazzard, The Beginning. I had no idea they even made this movie. The only person in it I recognized was Willie Nelson, because he played Uncle Jesse. And the guy from Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin, played Boss Hogg. It was the absolute worst movie. I'm telling you guys, the acting in this movie, if it had turned into a porno, would not have shot me. It was legit porno style acting and quality. And when the credits were rolling, it hit me how pathetic a life I lived that I actually laid there. It was like a train wreck. I have to watch all of it just to see how bad it is and it just got worse. It was the worst movie ever made, but I sat through it.
Was it on YouTube? Because I saw that movie on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on YouTube. But what was weird, there was it literally just like Said Stevie ended. There wasn't that playing next with the countdown or nothing. It was like as soon as his video ended, poof, the Paramount thing popped up, and it just started playing. It's like they ambushed me with it, but it worked. I watched it. Absolute horrible. And the little gal that played Daisy was cute enough, but not. She wasn't.
She wasn't Jessica Simpson.
It was almost like a dude got his buddies together to make a movie, like they all already knew each other, and somehow they talked Willie Nelson into playing Uncle Jesse.
Now I'm gonna have to watch this movie now.
I recommend it.
I saw it the other day. It popped up, and I was like,
"What? 90 minutes?
What the hell is that?" But I watched something else. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now.
Yeah, it had to have went straight to YouTube. I can't imagine that ever came out in movies. John, we've been on for over 3 hours. That's funny because what did we say 15 minutes before the show started? We didn't have shit to talk about.
We had nothing to talk about. We never do, though.
No, we never do. We just come on and run our yaps. No, matter of fact, not worse than the Johnny Knoxville one. By leaps and bounds worse than the Johnny Knoxville one. This came out after the Johnny Knoxville. It's the beginning. The Duke boys are teenagers. Yeah. Just before they even got. A lot of people don't remember that. The Dukes had actually went to jail. They were felons. That's why they couldn't own firearms. That's why they had those bow and arrows. They had felony moonshining charges. Yeah, but then this one, Luke bangs Lulu Hogg. Of course, she ain't like she is. Well, anyway.
Yeah. What you trying to say?
If you remember, Lulu was as big as Boss Hogg was.
Yeah.
In this movie, she's not. She just looks like your average MILF. Yeah. Would have been a great porno. They missed their shot at that one. Do you guys remember the old feature length porns that they tried to actually have plots and it wasn't just scenes?
Yeah.
Remember that? That's exactly what that movie's like.
But without the porn.
Yeah, without the porn. There's not even any nudity.
I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah. Do you remember? I don't know if they've been any since, but I remember the first porn to hit that made tens of millions of dollars. It was a feature-length film called Pirates. It came out right after Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was like a 2-hour-long Pirates movie that happened to have full-blown XXX porn scenes in it. That thing sold for like $150. That's a lot of stuff. And dude, you had to put your name on a waiting list to buy it. It was like the biggest thing in porn in decades.
There we go.
Like I say, that's pretty extreme.
I found it.
Found
going
what?
Down. The movie is going down later.
Oh, you got it archived to watch now?
Yep. Yeah. Added to my watch list.
Yeah.
But Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it was like that. I mean, it was Pirates of the Caribbean based, but it had like all the biggest names in the adult film industry at the time in it. I mean, they actually did a good job. The pirate ships looked fairly real, and the outfits were. Did you watch it, Ian? I'm sure it had a happy ending. They all did we do it again? Did we both highlight it at the same time?
Yeah.
We're getting good at that. Johnny Deep. I don't know. I remember it was there. I never got to see it. I'm sure you can find clips from it on the
interwebs.
Yeah, whatever that site's called. I've never been there. Do any of you guys like me? Do y'all get nervous when you're around family members and have to type in the word "you" in your Google search bar? Like as soon as I hit Y, I'm like, oh shit. I know it's going to autofill. I am getting tired, John. I'm fixing to call it, dude. I'm thirsty as hell.
Well,
I've had a really good time, though.
Yeah, I have too.
Leaving you guys hanging last Sunday. I'm very proud of those of you who hung out anyway and had y'all's usual conversation over in the chat, even without me and John here. It's good to know that we provided a place for that. Did I tell you about that, John?
Yeah.
They just showed up and just started talking anyway. They don't even need us, dude.
No, they don't need us. We're just here for filler.
Yeah.
But I may be going live this Tuesday. We'll see. I ain't making no promises, but I'm gonna do my best. I've got everything pretty much set up like I want it.
If you want to visit or even for a few minutes or the whole thing or whatever, you let me know. It's up to you.
Man, I put up with you enough on Sunday nights.
You're absolutely right. I know said Stevie has been looking forward to it. He'd love to join you.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have people on.
Yeah. But Lacey, it is. I don't know how stupid it is, but it made literally hundreds of millions of dollars. It was like the most – something may have passed it by now. But at the time, it was the most successful adult film ever made.
With the pirate one?
Yeah.
I have to add that to my watch list, too.
Yeah, me too. Now that I remembered it. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. You guys know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. I absolutely love each and every one of you guys. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the gifted membership. Vance, you're my fucking hero, buddy. You know that. Love you guys. John, what you got?
Love all you weirdos. And once you get out there and need to see your asses off. And do something nice for somebody every once in a while.
That's right. See you guys.
It's going to take them a minute, so
Damn it, John.